Yeah, we should be alive on the internet. Just double checking that there's no audio desync. That all seems fine. That bit rate seems okay and stable. Yeah, I'm hopping in. I still want to hop in this evening for a few hours, or an hour or two, maybe three. Because I haven't gotten to play much of the game today, as I had other engagements, especially in the evening, which I just got home from. So I'm gonna do something. I haven't decided what yet. Likely some countdowns, just farming. As on this account, I'm done with the apparel events, I believe. Oh yeah, Hollywood also, of course, started today. Although I'm unlikely to really. I might do some missions with Hollywood, but more likely I'm going to jump into some countdowns. That seems like a much more easier thing to do. Yeah, so I already checked, and yeah, of course, that closer is very much still, as you can see, very much using a Getica is on my mind. But I don't want to go roam DZ, even though it's Tuesday evening or night, basically, at this point in my region. The invasion might be an option to do with, especially doing it together with Hollywood. But just to start off, I'm going to go do a countdown. They are plenty fun, and we're gonna run it with Yuzina and hopefully get something out of it. So what I'll do for my first run, just to warm up, because I do like them, is to grab a PFE build. And I'll just go challenging, as I'm mostly after the loot. I'll take an extra or two of exotic caches as well, but nowadays as well, since the economy changes, it's just as valuable to go challenging. I'm matchmaking for admission. That is not what I wanted. Just got it in time. Countdown shouldn't take long.
You are now in a group.
The only downside of countdown always is that you can't have the global event on, of course, and cannot gain stars while getting it. Where Summit you can. That's usually the one thing that Summit still really has going for it, is global events work there, and so does Legendary. And it's a lot better XP, especially with high directives. As that's a real downside of Countdown. You do not get many we have this. Both teams have spawned here. Timer hasn't started. I actually need this to be a Scorpio, because I quite often forget.
We need to find a way to relieve the pressure and fix the.
And this actually usually works out because it spawns both teams together. So we can just be together and kill everything really quickly. As yeah, it usually does fix itself. There we go.
System disrupted. Reactor unstable. Emergency lockdown protocol.
We'll get the close range buff as well, so it should be a super easy one. As long as there's some competency on my on my allies.
System restored.
Sadly, the close range buff is the last one we'll get. So we won't have it for the hunters here, but also, yeah, we have both teams together here. And we're very much going to make short work of these. I'm going to use my TKB. There's plenty of people Scorpioing, I hear, so might as well do some damage. But once there's 2 or 3 people Scorpioing, it's safe to no longer be Scorpioing. I'm gonna rush him down and put myself here, because he basically then has nowhere to run to medpack, and with me there he won't medpack. That was a well-placed grenade from whoever that was, so they did good. Okay, we had a minor audio issue there, I think, as it's cut out for me as well. Okay, the game isn't latency, it seems.
Target should be nearby.
Yeah, that seems fine. My voice is, though. Actually, wait, where did everybody go? Okay, yeah, they did go. I'll catch up to them. I'm just gonna briefly fix my audio issue before I head in here. That should have fixed it. Just checking it that way, so I see the meter go, and I'll catch up with my allies. And yeah, sometimes you run into some technical difficulties, and it's gotta get fixed, or real life difficulties, and you gotta get up. There's still 7 of them in there, so they should do fine. Also just saw now that the target is dropping. Yeah, it is a Usina, which I do want it to be, of course. I very much need the named items from Usina, so all of this, all of these very much do not fit the... Ooh. Sudden sneeze. A dust sneeze.
Area secure.
Because I don't feel I'm catching a cold or anything. But I might be. You never know. Yeah, they made short work of it. I basically did nothing, but I'll take some loot. Because of course I will. There's a very low level player, sub 100, I consider basically very low. You can't have much at those points. So I'll keep an eye out on some of the gear, just to maybe share by the extraction. I'm gonna go catch up with them. They'll go reactor, because yeah, admin is VIP and usually gets skipped. And that leaves turbine or cooling tower as the main. I didn't even check which of the 2 it was, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, see them going up the ramp. And also, we're in range anyway of kill XP. I see the kill XPs pop up, so I'm in range for that. Full on ammo. Yeah, just gonna hopefully get that unicorn that I've been chasing for quite a while at this point. One that has taken actually exceptionally long. I'm just gonna fire just so on the minimap I'm in combat then at that point. Trying to find a place where there's a shot. This DKB will do a much better job of actually killing.
10 minutes lockdown. Evacuate the facility.
That was very fast, which was
You can head over to the
very
cooling
nice. I'm gonna go get the loot chest, the chest from the loot from this chest. There's also a named item, but yeah, it's not from targeted, so sadly, a very low chance of being what I'm after. Yeah, I'm not gonna go over there. I don't see any loot, and I want to keep up. I've been hanging, I've been falling behind, and yeah, we're gonna go go to the cooling tower, which is the main objective. And hello to you as well, Roland dear.
Lança paninho ali, por favor. Ai, esse mouse tá tudo cagado.
Trying to catch what they're saying, but I don't believe that's English.
Agent, you're in. I need you to fix that cooling tower.
And hopefully they don't just have an open mic. Yeah, I'm just do some attempts of farming up that unicorn, that closer.
Steam pressure increasing.
And seeing as I was gonna just play a few hours as
I'm gonna need you to.
I wind down this evening. Could have gone for the main objective. Actually, several people are close to it. I'm hoping somebody touches it. Because I want to stay around here. Okay, everybody. Somebody's coming back. I want to stay around here because then once the objective pops up, I can
You've stabilized
very quickly take it out for
that steam.
us.
Vent the steam and you're good to go.
The other two got gotten as well, and I'm set up to
High risk hostile.
go deal with this other objective here as well. Starting the second phase. Because one of the things you can very much do is jump up here and especially if you have a more accurate weapon and talents that work at range.
Burning steam and you'll be good to go.
He has that. I'll go for the next one as well. And I see that the chest has been popped here already, so along the way I'll just mass loot that. And one thing I should do is actually stash a few loadouts just so I can more easily loot.
You've stabilized the pressure. Now we just need to cut off that steam.
And hey to you as well, Salves. Welcome back to both of you. Thank you for joining me again on an unscheduled stream, a little bit later than I usually start, but I wanted to keep the streak going. I have streamed most days last week. I think actually the whole week, although not at set times. Gonna hope that's an eclipse fire. It wasn't.
Cooling system stabilized.
And today I had some engagements at my normal scheduled time, so having come back from those, I thought, you know what, I feel like playing, so
Now let's get you out of there.
let's go stream
Move to the
this.
extraction point. Shoot off a flare when you're.
Gonna go for the main chest before I head out because it would be dumb to not do that. And yeah, we have the close range buff on this round, so it's going to be very easy, which it very much is. Because yeah, the 9 out of 10 times that close range buff makes it so that weapons deal very high amounts of damage. More than should be impossible for most builds. As long as they're actually closing the distance and putting themselves in the close range buff. And especially the interaction with firewall seems to increase it quite a lot. And not just for the firewall player, as long as the firewall player is in range. So one of the hunters spawns more over there. I was considering going over there, but usually I need one other person with it. But also, stuff is melting. I'm gonna go run interference. I'm on a PFE build.
Shoot off a flare
A
before
well set up PFE build. So I can take quite a lot of hits.
System reactivated.
Especially once I have my shield, especially as well. I can even take a... So I'm gonna just go harass these two hunters. Make them all just focused on me. Letting all the heavy damage dealers... Because especially also gonna put myself here so that he definitely doesn't go into a healing animation. And make it easy. And that's the role of a PFE really. It's the one place where you can do somewhat of a thing of tanking, but it's not so much even tanking, it's more of a harasser. It's very much a skirmisher. I'm keeping an eye out on some stats and stuff, seeing if there's anything worth sharing with these lower level players, but... Oh, that's coming from the elevator, or from the helicopter, the people that are dying before getting to the ground. I saw extra loot getting added to that pile. That could have also been from people sharing loot. Was unlikely, but that made me take a second to just make sure that wasn't, because yeah, I don't want to deconstruct stuff that people are sharing. And hey to you as well, Snakes. Yeah, as I said yesterday, I had an engagement. We had a company, or well, not a company I specifically work for, but it was a company that had a get together and invited me as well. So I had to go show my face for a few hours. So that took up that time, but also alluded to it yesterday. I might do a few hours afterwards, and these are those hours. A little bit of an unscheduled stream. Because I wanted to keep the streak going. I've been streaming most days, almost all days actually. Although at different times quite often. But yeah, seeing as I wanted to play Division 2 anyway.
Torres is on her way.
Didn't actually check how much time we had left there, but because I feel we still had a lot, because we also came out of a real nearby to the extraction objective. Yeah, just gonna spend a little time, farm a few countdowns, maybe do a few invaded. I'd actually forgotten that, of course, we're getting a global event today. Hollywood's active. And might be interesting to maybe just match make. Although a Tuesday evening, or well, night in my area, especially with a global event that isn't as popular as some of the others. Because actually, Hollywood, while I do enjoy it, it's very much one that really requires a group. So it's a lot less. I'm gonna grab loot and go. We are out of time.
Another agent is now group leader.
And I'm hoping the rest of my allies, because I got out with 6 seconds, so they should have enough time.
Nice work. You stabilized the power grid in this region.
And we had the full coins. But yeah, I'll definitely do a few countdowns first, just warm up a little here, and then decide where we go.
Entering safe area.
Also now, actually, briefly, I'm going to go check, because I haven't looked at it actually since yesterday afternoon, how the Redify video is doing, and if there's comments on it. I need OBS to be shrunk. Oh, it's doing really well for itself, which I'm very happy. It's good to see that it shows also that there's interest for very much weirder builds, or supporty builds. So and seeing as that's what quite a lot of my upcoming content is also going to be, so because yeah, if I'm looking at showcases, it's going to be Eclipse followed by Ongoing Directive. So, and then I'll keep it at those two be exposed, because just in case I change my mind. But yeah, with a few other videos in between. The showcases are usually separated out a little bit. Not missions. I'm going for another countdown. I wanted to actually, I need to sort my items first, actually.
You have received an invite to another agent's group.
Yeah, I think
I appreciate
keepers.
the trade.
Because yeah, I'll have
You have joined a group.
10 seconds here anyway. As well today, I in the afternoon did some. Yeah, no worries, Ron dear. Thanks for popping in, and yeah, thanks for the well wishes on the hunt. So I was working on the multiple character. It's basically done. I want to redo one section because I'm not happy with my voicing in it. Also, I basically did not hit all the points that I was that my notes put for that I had in my notes. So I'll, but it's well set to be released tomorrow, my afternoon. So. Yeah, I'm not even inspecting my allies or anything. I'm playing very casually. I'm luckily for myself and all of my allies, I'm a few drinks in, so I'm a lot more mellow than I tend to be sometimes.
Cleaners have
And one thing I also actually
triggered a lockdown. I'd rather not
forgot, but that's also
anywhere near a nuclear.
scheduling wise, it didn't work out. Mostly because a lot of my videos got extended and just took more time than I wanted them to. I very much had hoped to especially make a showcase.
15 minutes lockdown.
My allies are going the correct way. This is a rarity that makes me so happy that yeah, they did not blindly go to the right. We are going to go join up both the teams. Scorpios will work, so we'll use them.
System disrupted.
Where did this one go? Oh, he's over there. It's weird that he got pulled so far to the left.
System restored.
Oh, he probably got jam repulsed by whoever's eclipsing on that end. And that pulled him close to them. But that still also leaves... Okay, that's weird. I'm still not going to get all hunters. That's sad. I'm going to leave that one behind because if I would go for that one, I would be out of range for this one. And we're not going to come back this way, so I'll still only get 3 hunters out of it. I was going on a story. Yeah, I was hoping to do a build showcase of because actually that was like I had it technically before the eclipse of a mortar build. Of course, I already have a hardwired one that will work as well for the Hollywood global event, but especially a mortar one. If I had paid enough attention, where are we going? We're going reactor. Where there's an entrance here, boys.
Should be nearby.
What is happening? I'm gonna guess none of them marked and none of them... are they going somewhere else? I mean, even if they wanted to go cooling tower, why would you go... I take back everything that I said earlier about blessing this team. I'm gonna go get the hunter drop and then catch up. It's a weird choice because does it line up better? No, not even. We could have done reactor and then cooling tower.
Hostile incinerator turret detected.
And also the other way is better.
Rogue assault turret detected. Hostile assault turret detected. Rogue striker drone.
Yeah, I've also been messing around with some
Hostile striker drone detected.
footage work and maybe some editing work of doing a new type of video, but I'm not so confident if it'll work out. But
Incoming. High risk hostile.
well, damage-wise, I don't think this team will struggle. But that was just such a weird choice to go all the way around to cooling tower, because also even if they wanted to go to cooling tower, this path that they could have taken was so much shorter. Because also, for a second, I thought they were going to get the hunter route, which like the route that I went, but they also didn't do that. So I don't understand the decision making there, like at all. But damage-wise, they seem fine. Like it's a challenging as well. It's not a heroic, so we'll be fine. Because yeah, we basically went from here all the way down to around this way to here, and now we're gonna go around this way back there. Like we could have just done reactor and then go through from the left side to the right side of reactor and come out. So time may only be the issue here. Oh yes, I was yeah. So doing basically what I'm considering calling build overviews.
Security breach.
And basically just shorter showcases. So in a showcase, I actually showcase a build, and then in the overview, I just basically give the overview. So it's basically going to be a pretty, not super edited, but more edited than I usually do video of... and then I'll go through the layout, but not really explain it fully, but just tell all of the stats and all of the other options. And this is also why I kind of want to have those folders with, for instance, that I have started now for Striker, although, of course, that one's not very complete, but it at least already has all of the non-chess variants. But then basically, the first one is likely on then going to be Strikers as well. And it's going to be basically, I'm trying to hit 15 minutes max, and maybe even 10 minutes. And then, just going over the stats, going like, okay, you can do this chest, this chest, this chest. The stats can be here. These two weapons work really well. And then doing basically clips of how it works in gameplay. So just only having small sections and then going like, okay, here I'm stacking, and then here I'm shooting, and then, for instance, with Striker. Basically, a lot closer to what other people make, but still with trying to explain it as close as possible, and also my intention then to always have a build showcase first, and then follow it up with a build overview, so that in the build overview I can go like, okay, this is basically the basics, and if you want the full story, here's a showcase, and if you want the even fuller story for the ones that I do a masterclass on, there's also that. There's also them there. Because there is some truth to my stuff being a little bit too
Incoming. High risk.
let's say esoteric. It's very much for a certain crowd, and I've already kind of thought about how I want to yeah, lay it out. Because it's basically also gonna have no intro, almost. It's just gonna jump into the build. Yeah, it's mostly the part that basically that I have to learn. I haven't even really shot here at all. I'm just running around looting, which is I'll take that instead of very weak teams. The hard part is going to be, I mean, my editing abilities aren't great, so I need to kind of learn that a little bit. I mean, I know the basics of it, but just actually doing it is a different thing.
Agent, you've reached.
Yeah, I'll just take the time to.
I need you to fix the comms.
But it's likely just that shorter video will take even more time. But one of the useful things is that I'm already like doing the streaming part. So what I'll likely do is take gameplay footage from in streams. I'll maybe dedicate streams
Your
to
favorite job.
a stream before, for instance, the striker overview to just running strikers. They're staying in, okay. And take footage from there. But yeah, I basically want the footage for gameplay just to be like just truly like segments of me just. Was that? For a second, I was like, "Is it the right name? Is it the right name now?" Because yeah, it was crit chance, crit damage, but not a closer. I'm gonna go set up for. Let me do at least one thing during this entire run today, or well, this entire run with these people. Everybody got out. I'm not even gonna. We are actually in a not time crunch, but especially if everybody's gonna get out of objectives like that.
Systems shutdown initiated.
Still not in.
Protocols to cancel.
Nice job. You're a pro.
But yeah, the idea may exceed my capabilities is mostly going to be the issue. But I'm confident I'll figure it out. But the first 2-3 might not be good.
Warning.
But they'll be shorter at least.
Initiating safety protocol.
Yeah. I'm
Target approaching.
once bitten, twice shy. I'm staying in this thing. I'm staying in that thing, turns out. Hopefully he stays in the other one. What is it with people getting out of objectives? Although, I mean, they're not super low level. I'm gonna hope this guy went into the circle before me, so I'm hoping he'll just finish that off. I'll go for the. Spoke too soon. I wanted to go for the control room, but I'll sit here.
Whoever said tech support was boring. One more.
Yeah, the only issue is going to be because I don't specifically want my face to be on YouTube. I mean, I don't mind, but like on the YouTube end, doesn't make that much sense. But just for the gameplay section, if it comes from the stream, so currently I don't have a way of just I wouldn't have a way as well to. I'm gonna go grab the control room first because they're over there. Somebody started and then stepped out, and we are in a time crunch now. I mean, we won't be, but we can. We're closer than I'm comfortable. But then, yeah, so my face will be in the footage. But yeah, or I would have to record the game as well separately. But that's that's gonna take more drive space than in very short times. But then likely I'll just show my face over there. I'll solve it that way. Just
Rebooted. Communications.
do a make it be a face reveal over there. But actually, not thinking about it, that won't even be that much of an issue because I could put.
Move to the extraction point.
But footage-wise, I'm thinking about it of like my face will be there, but I would be just talking, of course. So I would have to either cover myself up, but I could just do that. I could just if I had especially something like a black background available to me, which I kind of could do, just make a, and then just have a square and then cover up the face part, and then with like the other face, with the face of that recording. That's a good looking tactical Mark 16, although I really like the normal Mark 16 a lot better, but I'll still take it. Might share it if I remember.
System curtailed.
They're already in the hunters. I'll go say hi.
Heavily armed hostiles detected.
Yeah, and especially for those as well, I'm gonna.
System restored.
They're going to be basically
Hilo is ready when you are. Shoot a
not scripted, but a lot more.
Rogue striker.
Like it's gonna be a lot more having notes, and I'm just gonna hit each note after each other.
An agent needs assistance. System back online.
agent down.
Why? Why was there an agent down? Oh, because we left the hunter alive. Was about to say he shouldn't escape, right? I'll share that as well. Gonna try and catch this this guy in front of me. Dead Space. He's the level 13. I'm hoping he doesn't. I mean, he shouldn't. Auto. Gonna see whenever he. Oh, we let a chopper land. That is. I haven't seen that in forever. I'm like, what are we fighting here? Didn't even register to me that the chopper could set people off. I'm gonna drop it here and hopefully he's the one to get it. Oh, that's not it. And I'll share this tax scene. I already have too many of them anyway. Because yeah, that's a nice weapon for a newer player. I'm gonna see if I can fire at them. I don't see him anymore. Like, dude, trying to get your attention. Come on. I believe in you. Yay, he got him. That makes me happy. Because yeah, that fox sprayer was like the one you're after. If you need a fox sprayer. Gonna keep an eye out on the flare.
Hilo inbound to your location.
I mean, from Countdown you can get some really good stuff. Anyway, I've gotten some stuff on his own already. But I usually do, like, I've noticed a lot that I say, like, I'll go share it and stuff, but I'm usually better at doing that when I'm not talking, and that's mostly because once like the mission ends, especially in like build showcases, I go into a mode of like I have a ton of things that I want to like say as the conclusion of that run, and then I totally forget to. But yeah, it's very handy to share. Yeah, that's the yeah. No. Yeah. Also, yeah. It's if to with so low levels, they don't know about the sharing. Because yeah, if you don't know that icon, you don't know. It's but especially what concerns me is that they don't deconstruct it. But like if I'm sharing it, it'll likely have a chevron in it, so it's a max stat. That usually people figure out that like you should pick up those items.
Safe area detected.
A day when nobody comes knocking is a good day.
And more so as well that other people don't run over and deconstruct it right away. Especially like higher level players that are very much in that mode of just deconstruct everything. Or what I've seen as well sometimes is you share it and then assuming that the level 15 picks it up and then a level 5k picks up just a Fox's prayer that you go like, why? This guy is. Oh, let me have a look at him. Okay, yeah. He's just greeting everyone here. Okay. Because yeah, he likely doesn't know me specifically because I would hope that I introduce people to better choices than. I'll also just briefly use this guy as this recalibration plus optimization on a piece. We always call this the mark of shame, because for this to have happened, you must have made bad decisions. Because you basically need to have put a recalibration on it and at a lower level and then optimized it to full. And yeah, especially a 1K player should have their library basically done, a 1K plus player. Yeah, I don't think so either, indeed. I'm gonna go grab a exotic cache and pop that, and I'll pop into another. Oh, actually, I should go check the vendors, of course, because the vendors reset and I haven't looked at them at all. Because I only popped in a little bit this afternoon just to get some footage for
Glad to see you, Agent.
what I want to discuss with the
Thanks for making a deal.
multi-character, the benefits of multiple characters. That's the wording. A video. But I really want to hold off on doing the segment where and that's the reason also why it's not finished yet, the segment where I open caches and stuff, because I can do that once. So I don't get to have it take two. Well, I mean, this week. So I want to make sure that I got my wording a little bit better and stuff there. Or right in one go. I do want to hop into another one of countdowns, but I don't want to do it as another PFE again. I'll go our friend of yeah, this one now should be actually set up to be altered easily to an Elmo variant, and I do want to have an Elmo. Because yeah, also yeah, the getting waved at by some people. Sometimes it's just someone just that waves at a lot of people. Also, sometimes I decently shade level. Some people go out of the way to go to try to like get your attention or something. Sometimes, although there's now so many high shades that I need to just swap this mod to be a crit damage. Optimalness. And I'll just put whatever this character has. Because yeah, I see also someone wiggling in front of me now. I don't know what they want. But yeah, and then sometimes it's people that like recognize me. So it's always hard to tell if it's which one it is. Not that I get recognized that often, but it will happen once in a while.
Invite to another agent's group. Receive.
Did I set it up correctly now? Yes. Because yeah, it needs to be 52% chance for the Elmo with the Coyote. Because yeah, I'll play it mid-range and we're in countdown. We're gonna have multi-Coyotes. Was I lead or no? Just make sure. Oh, I was gonna go the check vendors. Yeah, I mentioned them and I forgot. I'll do it after. Yes, I'm in the group already. Yeah, I would personally never do those. I feel I understand that there's a market for them, but it's very much not something I'm interested in doing. Vendor videos or news videos. One of the things I've also have not been doing at all is just new, like a lot of people make videos about new season or something. I might do some season overviews for coming seasons, but I'll mostly keep it also not so much in a list of like this is this, but what does this change for the player base? But that's also kind of hard to do in the first week where it's new. So because yeah, you don't really know what's going to shift. You can guess. And I would say I'm decently good at guessing at it. Good enough that I'll be confident in doing it, for instance, with the next season. But yeah, that would be the extent that I would do it. I wouldn't really just want to read off. I'll leave that to other people. There's plenty of people that fill that niche.
Last thing we need is an RC bomb in a nuclear reactor. We need to get control of the experimental reactor.
Okay, is it the Hollow Man or is it just the Y'all mask?
Emergency lockdown.
I'll see as well. Wait, are they? Why are they going left?
Threat of EMP discharge.
This side is it? Because yeah, I'm gonna get some. Is this something US players do? Because I hope they don't. I mean, they're gonna scatter those hunters at the very least, so it's already annoying. Because they never. Actually, I do. I've seen that before. Burster. Okay, that's a skill.
System reactivated.
Because yeah, I'm hoping they are not actually two-manning. Because yeah, they're not taking any damage really. I'm hoping they're not actually two-manning those hunters over there because it would cost everybody over here a lot of coins. Because yeah, I don't often see people going left when it's the wrong way, basically. Where did they put themselves even? Like that's between three hunters. That's it. True Patriot flag. That also like. I'm gonna guess that's not a red Patriot. I get the feeling. Although we'll be fine because we'll have the close range buff in a second. So what happened to this hunter then? Where did you guys pull the hunter? Oh, they killed one before we got here. I mean, it sucks more for them. They also, well, they got 3 actually. Not containment. Yeah.
You're in. We need to locate the target.
What's the main lab? Okay. Okay, just a normal. Yeah, and then with hazard. Although, of course, nowadays as well, because you have these vendors can have that, can have just YAL pieces as well. They sadly can't have system corruption, which for some people would be useful. I have a great dislike for the burster, which is that beeping sound in the background that you may hear several times, and that's mostly because of that. It's a bad skill as well. It effectively doesn't work that well. Oh, actually, yeah, we have confuses and stuff as well. Once again, could swap to Banshee Pulse and get a few of those done. Yeah, especially if it came with hazard protection. That's usually one of the. They were standing still, and to me it didn't register as enemies because yeah, I did just run past them. Gonna grab a Banshee
Detected.
because that shield is not something in Countdown at least that I really want to use.
High value target neutralized.
The incessant beeping. Oh, there's a Vanguard as well, a Tardigrade as well. That's a lot of bonus armor. Though not all together, of course. Should go for the chest. Or at least check some chest positions. It's on the balcony. And I may have gotten it already. I'll go look.
Area secure.
Ah, somebody else did get it already. Actually, let me see. Missed any of them there? It does actually. So I just saw that I had skipped over that one. If the and maybe the item says if it's looted, bought, or shared. The item does say what the sourcing is, and it's at the very bottom. Although most people don't know it, and most people also don't know what all of the wording means actually on it. So usually if it's shared to you, it will say shared. And that's actually, I can like show it on stuff, which is hit all the way down here. And so for instance, this one is likely reconfigured, and that pops up as crafted. Because that's also usually like you can go through your gear and stuff and look at, see if it's looted, rewarded, or yeah, all the other sources and stuff.
Secure the...
Also, I should now just see how low level some of the players are. So maybe I shouldn't have been so harsh on. They just
the engineer.
ran forward and pressed the left mouse button and didn't really. Why are we? Oh, okay. For a second I was like, wait, why did we go into the VIP? But somebody else went into the VIP. The voice line for the VIP played. Oh, this is Warhounds. Yeah, this is actually fun to hop on a high damage build once in a while. And there's no generalist higher one than the Obliterate Striker. Especially in its Saint Elmo incarnation. I have a shot, I do. 3.2 million, yeah, that's something a build can do, sure.
Access that experimental lab now.
Yeah, that close range buff is quite silly. I'm actually full on ammo. I shouldn't have even. But yeah, that's actually one of the things they should fix is that when you interact with a box when you're full on ammo, that like you get caught in the animation. That just should be. You should just go and just not let you interact.
Now, just need to find and destroy those fuel valves.
It's gonna jump down here, see if that's that chest. It doesn't. I'll shoot this one before I forget this time.
Safety protocols activated.
We're not in a time crunch, but we're also not that great on time. Getting chased by stuff.
Magnetic containment failure. Elevated threat of EMP discharge.
Nice work on the valves.
I'll stay in here as
We need
well.
to expose the reactor's core.
Because I have trust issues at this point.
Good. Now,
Sit a little differently.
destroy the magnetic core. You should be fine.
I should. Oh, they.
System malfunctioning.
I was gonna say I should go for that objective, but
Iris target
they
approaching.
did their part.
System reactivated.
I haven't used my Banshee once as well. That's a little bit down to starting a bit late, starting a little bit intoxicated. Not really to a level, but oh, actually, yeah, so. Also.
Evacuate the facility. 5 minutes to lockdown.
Containment field failure. EMP discharge required to stabilize reactor.
It's trying to reach all the way up to that heavy, but yeah, that's it. That's a skill tier 01.
System curtailed. System restored.
It's gonna chain that guy and move on. There's like 6 people behind me, so they'll get him. Oh. Yeah, didn't have an owner anyway already. Could go over here and hit the core.
System disrupted.
And we're already on the final step here, so.
High risk hostile. System back online.
Curious actually to see what this level 1 player is bringing to the table. Okay. Purples. I actually want to see their bar if I get a chance. Actually, well, they had blue bars as well.
Offline.
Okay, we got the objective then.
Activated.
What is their name? Okay, something real.
Nice. The plant's
Without a clan tag.
Let's get you out of there. Move to the extraction point. Torres is waiting for your signal. Shoot off a flare when you're ready to come home.
The beeping. Oh, actually, well, yeah, actually, yeah. He only has a, so where even a red build, which I am, has 13 bars. He has 9. Just. It's about to run out because I was so amused by the little bars. Yeah, my escape button is starting to die on me, which the escape button on my mouse, or the side button that I use for escape. Our extraction is pretty far, especially getting out of laboratory also takes a little bit. So, but we have the close range buff, and we should just burn them down. With so low levels, I'm hoping there's a few Scorpios between them. But I'm running St. Elmo, so I can't be that. And my allies are running in piecemeal, which is, well, I mean, there's that big blob, but 2 others were ahead of them.
System curtailed.
A bunch of stuff that was like over there
System
confused me for a second. Oh, I might have reached into
Shoot off a flare when you're ready for Torres.
into one of the zones that we didn't do. Going to try over there. Something's got hacked. There does seem to be something behind us over there, but yeah, I can't see it. And if I can't see it, it can't be real.
system reactivated.
What's getting hacked again? Okay. Guys, skills do not use. I will actually take a second to explain that to them, because yeah, they likely don't know. Also, with the, like, in the end, it didn't matter there because nothing really got hacked. They did go for a few hacks, but is this just containment that is aggroed, or what is this aggroed? Okay. I think should be that.
Torres sees you. Helo inbound.
Oh, purple Empress Glove. Okay. I mean, yeah, there's your start to a third drone purple build. So now you have to make one. Although the red build is actually the fun one to make. The third drone purple one actually works good enough that that it isn't actually a challenge build. Because yeah, it basically only gives up a little bit of crit chance crit damage compared to crit chance crit damage third drone build.
I'm impressed. I was pretty sure we're gonna.
One hunter we lost, yeah. I mean, I am a card-carrying member of the Purple Gang, so that's But they are very much also, if you enjoy challenging yourself, they are very much a lot of fun.
If I see any hot run.
Because they're also, it's also the farming side for them that is actually quite hard. Because you don't get to, you do get to use targeted loot, but basically ends there. You have one recalibration, you don't have optimization, so you actually have to find pieces that that's should have actually shared some stuff. Seeing some of these loot, because he had like this invisible hand would have been a good thing for him to use till get something better. This lefty would have been useful for him, but
Thanks for the deal.
hindsight. The one thing I could do if I really wanted to, but I don't even remember that guy's name, is from this list, if you go select the items that can still be shared, you have the names down here. So I could go, like, okay, it was like that guy or something, and then invite them. And sometimes they accept. You can also whisper them. But yeah, you can just / invite a name or / whisper a name and then a message. Although the whisper system is terribly buggy.
Hey, agent. Nice doing business with you. Hello there.
Vendors real quick. Yeah, especially what they I mean, what would be good to have as a system, but it's also the sharing is such a side system anyway that like they haven't spent real time on, is if we had a give kind of thing, so that we could like have a trading screen basically and just make sure that the right person gets it. As a From time to time, there are stories, of course, of people's intercepting eagle bearers meant for others. It's
Hello.
So we have a relic, and so one of the and this might actually be a future video as well. It is on the list, but it kept being pushed down because I'm not sure I want to take the time to also manage it. Is one of the things we used to do long ago, before we were basically waiting for Warlords of New York mostly, is we would make builds based on whatever was available from a vendor, from the vendors of that week specifically. So we would go to the vendor site, and we would, because you so back then you only had 3 vendors, and you basically had you would have one of each piece of gear, and then just put that together. Weapon wise, you could have a little bit of choice, and rules wise, we would also have only one. You could only have one recalibration on like the weapons. The 3 weapon slots would share having just one recalibration, and the gear would also only be all of the 6 gear slots also only just one recalibration. So usually that would mean doing the talent, because that's the important part. But those used to be quite fun actually, because especially now we have a lot more vendors, with New York adding a few in, and of course Castle as well, now adding one in. It could be fun to reintroduce people to that. But I would, if I were to do it, I would want it to be in a way where I make a... Well, I mean, the obvious way is to do Discord, but maybe just to have a Reddit post where, like, have a weekly thing of... I ran the complete wrong way for a vendor while talking. Firm handshake. Yeah. But then, yeah, to have a weekly post of just, and then especially trying to have, people come up with the optimal one, or not so much an optimal, but like, and trying to find coherent builds. because I think now it would, especially with the extra vendors, it could be kind of fun.
Hostile control point nearby.
Because I've tried it out a little bit for a few weeks just to see if it like still kind of makes sense or not. It does, and usually you can do heroic content with the builds that come out of it. Because yeah, sometimes it'll become a red build. It's basically dependent on what you get. Quite often it will become a skill build because skill tiers are just they're maxed out basically. So nothing here really either that's worthwhile. Yeah, so I did the settlements. Let's go have a look at the DZs here, and then I'll jump over to New York as well. Have a look over there as well. Yeah, Cassie will be available in 8 hours, 9 hours, 8 hours. Or even that, yeah, having a mail system for sharing would be nice as well. Yeah, we are going. But yeah, those kind of systems, they usually need a lot of work on from the devs. So it's not likely we're going to get it, but it would have been good if they like implemented those kinds of things. Because yeah, as well, there's actually, let me just check the loots here. So yeah, the for red page, and yeah, this is that Yal mask. Yeah, and this Yal mask very much for a hazard protect build, which Yal already gets used for quite often. So
I'm glad we
that's a good mask to get. But yeah, DZ credits, so a lot of people are unwilling to take that. Because yeah, it's also usually quite often on the clan vendor, and then you can just buy it for credits. And if you have the crafting blueprints for them as well, Orbit as well. Although there was an Orbit a few weeks ago that was available, so it's not going to be in high demand. That was available on the Countdown vendor for Countdown credits. Yeah, nothing there really either as well. Because usually on the DZ vendors, it's mostly the name that matters. Just gonna have a look at this one. We'll have a look at the New York ones. And back a boomy. Basically, also with that vendor build idea, it's also in the past we did used to do it as well, is to just you could go buy DZ items, but then yeah, of course you had to pay the DZ credits. Although actually, so back then it was the DZ vendor system was completely different. So you had a vendor inside of the DZ that you had to go find. It would reset twice a day as well, which made for quite a lot of options. But yeah, that video is very much on my mind in the background, and I'm working on it. And it's mostly just, yeah, if I really want to do it well, it has to be basically a weekly thing that needs to rehappen and rehappen. I'm basically hoping to entice somebody else that I'm trying to entice to help with it, to do it. So
thanks for the trade.
Let's go have a look here as well. But yeah, that vendor didn't have much worthwhile. But yeah, the vendors also really matter as well still for getting expertise up. They're really good for finding specific parts. Because yeah, for the weapons, buying 20 of them and donating them will give you expertise. And especially if you're that high that you're already doing watch halts, it's quite useful for that. Because yeah, once you have access to watch halt and you have maybe 1,000 points to spend. So you're level 1800-ish. Then you can get credits for that, and then basically, for instance, in my alts case, basically when expertise was going, basically I would go to the vendors, and these 4 items, I would buy 20 of each and donate all of those, and these 4 items would be proficient. And I could always also easily see that's the only really handy thing that they did do well, is to have it pop up in the UI here if it's proficient or not. So you could easily see it. For gear, you need to buy 100, so that would be a little bit more of an investment. And named items as well is just only 20. So gear is 100, and weapons and named items are 20. Exotics are also 20, but you shouldn't donate exotics. So nothing really great on those vendors. That y'all piece is okay. And that was about it. I'm gonna hop into another countdown, and I'm gonna go in again as a striker. Yeah, that's why I was.
Agents group.
A lot of people don't, so don't feel bad
Joined a group.
about that. But yeah, weapons being 20 is and also if you have some crafting resources going basically, and you have a bunch of the blueprints, going basically through this entire list and just donating everything from here as well, just crafting them and making them. And especially also there are a few of the named items that are tied to the specializations, where you get blueprints for them and you can then craft them, because yeah, they do not drop in the open world. So but yeah, you can just craft 20 of them and donate them. Although of course that's costly, so do be aware of that. It's easier said than done. It's some people sometimes forget that yeah,
Hyenas have taken
if
over
you're
the power plant.
a long time player and have the resources, because yeah, I had
Last thing we need is an
all my characters, I had 3-4 million in credits, and I hadn't even saved up or anything to have that, but I just had that, so I could do quite a few items that way.
Reactor unstable.
And we have that same player that we gave a weapon to earlier, so hopefully they're using it now.
Trojan virus detected. Safety protocols activated.
See a Banshee coming from the other team, which means we are here together. Also, I should stack up first, but also he'll be dead. Okay, I see. I am a child, and the player underneath me's name made me chuckle. Double Banshee pulse across the sky. I'm pretty ice stacked, so I'll just start elmowing stuff.
Agent down.
That other player went to solo a hunter and effed around and found out.
Containment and cooling tower.
Yeah, I agree with their assessment of containment, then cooling tower.
Shade tech detected.
Surprised the whole team is running back north. Like, even the Isaac line is very much just, this is the shorter side. I really should Banshee a lot, as much as I can.
Hostile striker drone detected.
Although, preferably more than one person.
Turret detected.
I'm gonna go for the chest first. We did the hunters pretty quickly, so we'll have time.
Rogue incinerator turret detected. Hostile incinerator turret detected. Rogue sniper turret detected. Hostile
It's
turret detected.
the downside of the bench pulse. Although actually it did reach up there. I was very much expecting it not to, but it did. I'll go for the named damage to make this quick. And we already have the chest as well in this area, so... the burster is back. Wait, is it? I don't see it on the skill list on any of my eyes.
Has gone offline. Area secure.
Luckily, those bursters are rare. But yeah, that incessant beeping is... But also it should just despawn after it, the enemy that it's attached to dies. It still keeps beeping in that area. It should very much not do that. Preferably. I'm running into a wall while I'm looking over over there. And I did not learn my lesson, so I did it again. Because I'm just checking. There's some peaks on the bitrate, but I'm hoping nothing caught on fire. Seems okay, so. What are we doing? Warhounds. Actually, yeah, very much you can shoot them from here. Although, yeah, basically, that Warhound is actually doing a good job of blocking me, shooting it. But yeah, the thing downside is you're doing half optimal and, or you're doing half of your damage because you're so far outside of optimal. And also, yeah, you need, not all weapons could even do that, the stability required to keep it on target for that range. The Elmo, though, is very much one that can.
To lock down. Evacuate the facility.
Gonna focus on the Warhounds because that's what we actually need to kill. Although I distracted myself with this wave spawning. Right away, of course.
High-risk target approaching.
Oh, there. That yellow bar behind that yellow tarp did not... he had flame rounds. Me getting out of his way did not save me from my fate.
Area secure.
Agent, head to the administration building.
I'm not sure we got the chest in this area. So I'll check that. I'll check that. I'll go check the last position. I'm not... feel like I got it maybe. And I'm just not remembering. Yep. Because yeah, I checked all three positions there, so. Either the loot isn't showing or I picked it up. Because yeah, in some rare instances there are ways where it bugs out and it also doesn't show the loot. But I think I got it and just forgot. We have the... Let's see if this team does stay in the circles once
I need you to fix
once
the
they start the objectives. Actually, I'm curious to see as well. Okay, I'm matchmaking the whole time to US East. There might be, yeah, very few EU players in the pool still. Because yeah, it's just a random Tuesday.
I know it's your favorite job. Need you to search the control room and find the server.
Especially night at this point.
Warning. System breach. Initiating safety protocol.
I'll go in here and kind of look at them and see if they very much seem set to actually do it. Go across, check this chest. It is this chest. And I'll go put myself... I'll put myself here because there's nobody here. For the next part. Not stacked at all, so I
Nice
really
job.
need to
You're a
stack
pro.
before I
Now, just need you to find another
engage
server.
something, but also likely everything that I can shoot at is going to be way out of range. Oh, that's did not step out.
Incoming. High risk hostile. An agent is back online.
Yeah, even without stacking
Hostile assault turret.
with ACS, I'm decently stacked up there. Hoping they actually... I'll just do this. And hopefully somebody's looking at it and goes, hey, oh, somebody has a fire alarm going. I'll need to see who that is and mute them if it goes again. But yeah, very much PTFO is very much not something that people do nowadays. But we're so good on time that even if I have to do all 3 of the next ones, I'll likely still be okay. No, it's not underneath me.
Whoever said tech support was boring. One more server and you can reboot the system.
Warning. System breach. Initiating safety protocol.
Or at least they're getting the control room right away.
Incoming.
But that also likely means that player just was sitting there the entire time. But yeah, this team is decently good on damage.
Communication systems shutdown initiating. Override safety protocols to cancel.
Ooh, they're even getting the last objective. Yeah, they're underneath me again. But I'm actually not free to move. I'll bench pulse like this. Hoping to catch something. I didn't. I was expecting them to actually be around here. That was a setup, so that gets looted. I think that's the first named of these. Which, yeah, 1 in 4 runs kind of
System rebooted. Communications
is
restored.
about right in general for a name drop. I need to hold it for long enough for the other guys want to dissipate, so... Because yeah, you can't overwrite. Sort of. Now we have one more.
Move to extraction point.
Another setup.
Helo is ready when you are. Shoot a flare to signal Taurus.
I should grab some of those kind of stuff. There's a level 13 and a level 14. I should share. No. Oh, it's even at level 26 as well. 3 sub 30s. 30 players under 30. So one thing I found out as well, trying to get the footage or the thumbnail for the red FI, is that basically, because the obvious place to, of course, take footage from is from the fighting the hunters. But yeah, there's graphical glitches that are going on. It basically makes every frame completely useless. So in the end, I went with something else. I'm not completely happy with the final choice, but it's skills going out. Something got hacked there. Striker drone, yay. I can hopefully kill this guy. That will also remove the skill. It's his skill now, so when he dies, it goes away. We have a tardigrade around, but I'm just gonna heal up. I don't want to be downed. Especially because likely we'll have another... Well, actually, the next disrupt is out already. I'll stay by the chopper, and I'm fully stacked as well, so... Yeah, I'll let him get away and med pack. I'll get him in a sec. Because I see it in the background as well, a different hunter med packing.
To bring you home.
Should drink some water in a second because yeah, my voice is giving me warnings. Oh, that should be shared. I mean, it's not Maxwell, but that's the level of stuff that is more than good enough for allies. See if I can find a shot through all of my allies. At least none of them had shields out as well and stuff. So. Trying to find that guy. I'm gonna go see if he stands here somewhere.
Flare at 12 seconds.
That was a Kingbreaker, right? It should be here. Yeah. Oh, it was a level 26. I got him.
Torres is on her way.
All right, good job.
I got him. As long as it's one of the low-level players. I should share those as well for stats. Because in the past, it was actually quite common to help people gear together. And you can go really fast if you are with a dedicated clan and 3 people are basically providing all their loot to the low-level player. But also nowadays, I feel that is... it kind of sometimes farming can be its own fun, and bypassing it basically it depends on the player as well. It's what they are after, but a lot of players, yeah, I feel that they would maybe enjoy the game more if they hadn't had gone through that process of timer. I'm glad I caught it last second because yeah, that the tail of that team will not make it. So nowadays I'm a lot more conscious about. I'll share a few items, but I won't actually go out of my way to farm together with a very low level player to just gear them up unless that's the only thing they're after. That's a new sound. I'll mute the game for a second. At least for you guys. Because yeah, it's just making noises. Oh, that was weird. It's gonna check that. It's back up, yeah.
Safe area entered.
A day when nobody comes knocking is a good day.
But yeah, just a few items here and there is what I'm okay with nowadays. But also, yeah, again, yeah, it depends on the player. If they are in it. They just want to get in the game, do the raids, do a little bit of the game, and they're not intending to go long term. Then okay, but especially players that
Here to check something out?
may enjoy going long term, it can be like grinding is almost half the fun, almost. We didn't get what we were after, but we still got exotic cash anyway. 2 of them, I even point wise that worked out like that. Pop these 2. A busy little bee and a ninja.
Good to see you.
Ninja bike or ninja knees. Because nowadays you have to specify, of course. In the past it was all just ninja meant the knee pads, but now ninja
Thanks for the business.
is used twice. But yeah, 2 exotic components. I should check how full am I on those. I have enough for 2 weapons, and I should actually make that investment. Although I should just spend I need to first get the weekly SHG requisitions before I accidentally spend too many resources. You know what? Seeing as I was talking about the Redify earlier, let me take the Redify into a run, just for variety's sake. We did a few with PFE starting out, and then a few with Striker. And now we'll swap characters and grab a Redify. And if there's if we get in a group, and at this one I basically do need to check the group, because yeah, if there's another FI in it, normal one or red, I'll swap to ongoing directive, which his character has as well, and that's the reason also she has both. Is if I'm going as one and they're already in the team, it's unlikely that the other one is also already in the team. And yeah, this is that safeguard variant. I'm gonna run it actually with vigilance. So I'm gonna. This one actually I should rework it to also have the option of going Coyote's Mask, because I'm gonna go first run at least with this with Seska Backpack Grupo gloves, puts me at 59. I didn't put the Elmo back actually in the stash, but also I don't want to run the Elmo, so that's fine in this case. I'll go grab my Y23 FAMAS.
Backpacks to boots. You want it?
And then we'll take this one in. So I'm giving up having that Coyotes buff. I'm giving up having Elmo. Actually, no, I want grading. That one's not graded. Who is my FAMAS? And there it is. Well, yeah, it is painful, yeah. Although at this point I have several weapons at 23. Like the ones I really cared about, of course, I have already at high levels. I have a Regulus, I have a FAMAS, I have a Mark 16, I have a M4, I have a Capacitor, of course, a Scorpio. Actually, I should grab my Scorpio more often especially with my Eclipses. Most likely the next one up is going to be this Pestilence, because the Pestilence just benefits from it. It's not that I care about the Pestilence much, but it's one of the weapons that like really benefits from expertise. And same for this Nemesis. Those likely will be the next two going up. But yeah, and then maybe at some point a Ravenous as well, because yeah, that I sometimes do grab a Ravenous, and maybe also at some point Eagle Bear, especially this one, because I mean, who can say no to a God rolled Eagle Bear? Those are actually very much rare. I think it took me. I mean, plenty of people still don't have one, but to have it be without optimization. Although, of course, it doesn't matter if you have an optimization here. It's just visual basically at that point. But just for bragging rights, it's very much. I think I 10, 15 Eagle Bears before I got one, and that's me having been lucky. Because yeah, most of the times, of course, on an exotic, it ends up with at least like one of the bars optimized. But yeah, that's very much from all back in the day when I did raid quite a decent amount. I almost went mission, but I want to go countdown.
Invite to another agent's group. Receive.
And also half of the pain is just clicking and holding 20 times, which could just be changed to be one click, just or one click and then maybe a slider bar, and then in the same way that you spend points. Heard the open mic already. Well, no, actually, I won't mute him. They're just breathing in the mic and it's just picking it up. Oh yeah, no. Very much need some water. I'm seeing several names of shit. What's okay? I am in Europe at the moment. Let me also briefly just close this off, and we'll refresh this one. Yeah, going in with the Redify. I'm actually quite happy with the. I mean, and I should be. I'm very happy with how the Redify video did. So that was good to see. Because yeah, it is my best performing video so far, which
the power plant.
is
Looks
nice.
like they've triggered the lockdown protocols while they were charging their warhounds.
And I'm very much happy.
We need to get control of the experimental reactor.
I think it's on 2.7K views, so that's. I mean that it's in comparison, that is of course a tiny amount, but
Emergency lockdown protocols activated. 15 minutes
for
lockdown.
some idiot on the internet that is with like 500. Actually, I think I reached 600 subscribers specifically today. That's not too bad. Could have grenaded earlier, but I didn't. So here we are.
An agent has disconnected.
I want this to be on Scorpio very much.
System curtailed.
Oh, we have the armor repair directive as well. Okay, that's nice. So that one actually gives a little bit of armor regen, basically. And that, of course, with... oh, I'll burst heal him. But also, one of the things I actually did forget to put in that video, although it was, I skipped it on the talents part. I actually had it in my notes. But I specifically skipped it in the layout section, talking about the. Actually, that's VIP, of course. That's not where we're going. Where are they going? Containment. Okay. There you go. They got the message. That is at least good to see. But I very much forgot to, in the layout part. Well, I didn't forget, but I skipped it specifically for time. I had it in my notes and then I crossed it out last second, just because it would have added like 40 seconds to that. And that's how the area heal of the, or the proximity heal, the self heal, the shared heal of FI works, and then also how the proximity of it works. Because I did do it a few times, because yeah, that's just out of habit. I did do it a few times during the video where I just basically heal someone else to heal myself. But I didn't talk about it, which is my only regret there. But yeah, you have that whenever somebody else gets healed of your heals, then it also transfers to you and nearby allies. So yeah, usually you can just heal others, and then, and also because it actually provides more to you than it does to them. Chest had to be up here. But that at least gives a opening to maybe talk about that in a build overview, or maybe even do a masterclass. Although if masterclass wise, it would very much be buffing builds together, because I don't think that like something like Redify could really be an entire masterclass. A build showcase basically says enough about it. It's gonna
Shade tech detected.
take a second to just release it differently. As yeah, my old bones are sometimes a little bit adverse to sitting for several hours.
Rogue sniper turret detected. Hostile sniper turret detected. Rogue assault turret detected. Hostile assault turret
Somebody
detected.
died.
10 minutes to lockdown. Evacuate the facility.
I'll go for hopping over on this one.
EMP system purge required.
Rogue striker drone detected. Hostile striker drone detected. Rogue incinerator turret detected. Hostile incinerator turret detected.
Very much outside of my optimal and even effective.
Reconnected.
I'll just put some fire over there, and I'm sure it could help. I would be even more useful healing. I'm gonna stay in this one just to avoid, so they don't take it over again. Because this one's at 100%, they just need to capture that one, which I'm hoping they'll do eventually.
High risk target detected.
Tap him up. And just having that damage bonus on everyone is just so great about this. Also basically figured out that I was basically making that video out of selfishness, as I want more FIs to be in the matchmaker, just to buff me as well. But yeah, as builds, they're just good. Redify is of the three is where I would recommend people start. Of the three buffing builds. Although actually, yeah, so the way I'm laid out now, that hive isn't doing much. Considering going pulse, I likely will just before
Agent, you've reached the
getting
limit.
into
You need
here.
to stabilize the reactor.
Because yeah, none of my allies are running it, and it can be useful. It's going to be more useful than me trying to use that hive.
You're in. Now, just need to find and destroy those fuel valves.
Warning. Experimental reactor unstable. Safety protocols activated.
Most of the team went right, so I'll go left.
Another agent has been promoted to group leader.
Oh, we lost two. That mini tank is gonna hurt if I don't kill it. And the annoying thing is, whenever I take chip damage, both of my talents are basically very much aligned towards. I'm just gonna run past this and just. We're not in a time crunch, but we could be. So.
Magnetic containment failure. Elevated threat of EMP discharge.
Nice work on the valve.
So whenever I take damage and I'm not at full armor,
Close the reactor's core.
both the FI drops and of course because I took a hit, the vigilance also drops. So it loses a lot of damage in one go, which can hurt.
Good.
I'm very much gonna just heal them to heal myself.
You should be fine.
And I'm gonna cross and hopefully somebody else kills it. Although I'm also in range.
System malfunctioning.
I always get turned around for the second one. Yeah, it is that one, right? Yeah, it's the middle.
System reactivated.
This place, more than most other places, gets me very much turned around. I don't know why. I'm still struggling with it. I mean, it's mostly because for instance, the cooling tower that also is kind of a circle. At least is kind of distinctive in most of its areas. It's basically two of its areas kind of looks the same. I'm gonna try and kill that guy because I'm hoping he's eclipsed stuff, but he isn't. That was eclipse, fire, and foam, or nothing was in range. I'll grab this and
Evacuate the facility. 5 minutes to lockdown.
I'll go objective.
Field
Yes.
failure. EMP
I'll get that loot later.
reactor.
System curtailed. System restored.
Try it. I missed. Down, boy, down. Ah, yeah, we're good on time. I'll see about hitting him, just to get him back to full. Just so he does benefit from the total weapon damage buff.
System disrupted. Incoming. High risk hostile.
I should briefly check here and they'll... Because yeah, my team's doing good jobs. Good jobs. Good work all around. So. I feel I shot way too long onto that dog, and that's very much it getting quite a little bit late.
Hostile artillery turret detected.
I'll pop him back to full. Well, at least I'll try. You know, likely wasn't too full. Oh, we still have one to go, actually. I thought we were done. I'll pulse here. Just also because I'm gonna stay in here. Because also the objective is shootable from here in a second.
Experimental
And now
vehicle
we're
offline.
actually done.
System back online.
I'm gonna see if I can get him, but he was nice and evasive, so.
Good work, Agent. You saved the plant. Move to extraction point. Torres is waiting for your signal.
I'll do a little bit of a loop, look for some loot if there's any.
Agent is back online.
And yeah, of course, the chest along the way. We're gonna extract this the other way, and it's pretty far. Loot doesn't have a named. Oh, I almost forgot the chest as well. And that's, yeah, me starting to become a scatterbrain. As yeah, as HD calibrations are very much a thing that I'm after always. They rushed in a little bit. Hopefully they haven't scattered them.
Incoming.
The danger here is if they basically go one by one by one. That makes it real easy for just people to start dying. We're already down to 6, so we're already weak. We shouldn't make it an easy fight here. Also, them engaging like that, they can't. All of the hunters are going to be bunched up now, which will make this hard fight. Oh, they didn't let them fall back. Okay. Then no issue. Because yeah, usually what happens here with the hunters is they fall back. I'm gonna push up as apparently nobody else has a Scorpio, so I'll be a Scorpio stick. Because yeah, shouldn't survive really. There we go.
System.
I should be conscious. There's a low level player. Of stats. So 2 of the hunters fell back. Well, one of the ones from there. But we should be able to catch up to them.
Functioning.
I'm hoping this is Eclipse Fire. It was. I was trying to med pack and I'm also blinded. Pulse about to go. Gonna pulse, or yeah, disrupt was about to go. So I will pulse. Took some chip damage. I'm gonna see if I have anybody I can use to heal myself up. As yeah, this hunter on the end is should be our priority target.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I was hoping I was obscured from him, but it turns out I wasn't. They shouldn't get me in the open. I was trying to. I would have reached up to the car. Though yeah, one of the good things is none of my allies is really using their skills, which is a thing we've ran into quite a lot today, of course. Gonna.
Vital signs critical.
That grenade actually hurts me more than it helps me. Because yeah, I'm at health gate. But yeah, we should be able to recover this time. I'm hoping nobody died, mostly. Sucks for... yeah, that usually sucks for...
Hostiles on the flank.
Thought he survived, but then, yeah, I didn't instantly see him. I'll signal here, because...
Kilo inbound to your location.
it's too likely that, yeah, nobody else does. Yeah, I still need to go grab that loot back there. Because yeah, we'll get one more chopper out of this and then run into extraction. Did not see a named Yuzina, I think, at all.
Ready for extraction.
Which is very much what I'm after, of course. Yeah, we're not gonna get another chopper out of this. Because yeah, by the time they start putting people out, we'll already be at 10 seconds. And that would be too much of a chance to take.
Thanks to you, the locals will have heat and lights this winter.
Because yeah, winter is coming.
Safe
See if we got anything otherwise useful.
Looking for something?
Yeah, nope.
I appreciate the trade.
But we got to run the Redify in its close to its Elmo variation, which is actually the preferred variation, I would say nowadays. Which would be with the backpack, but that specific build, that specific layout is on my other account. And I'll actually do the safeguard variant here as well. Because yeah, the safeguard variant, especially together with the BTSU and a hive and a restore a hive, really works well together, especially for that supercharge, giving that supercharge mechanics to a ton of your allies and getting them their hives back, getting them overcharged skills. I'll take it challenging. I was considering going heroic with this one, but I'm mostly after loot, and challenging is better for loot, especially.
You have joined.
Unless, well, it gives you more loot, and that's what I'm after, to have more chances of getting named items. As heroic does give a little bit better stats on gear. But I just want the gear. I'll optimize it. It'll be fine. I'll spend those points. But I just need to get one first. And yeah, what I'm mostly after is a closer with crit chance, crit damage already on it. So I can recore it to a red. Because yeah, that one's a
Communication relay offline.
piece that's been evading me. It's very much, for the last few days, been my target. And even longer than that. But before that, a little bit. Just, you know, summit runs, I would have my targeted there if I wasn't targeting something specifically otherwise.
Taking the power plant. Not
But now I want to just get one and just get it done, because there's specifically two builds
going into lockdown.
that I want to have it for. One is a PFE,
We need to
because it doesn't have any other good options. It would very much be a piece that could go into there and give it a few better options.
Reactor unstable.
And also for a red build, to do a build picture with it. Because yeah, there is actually one build layout that or red high-end build layout that the closer does actually provide. We don't have the status effect directive, which is what I always just look for really briefly, and if we also will get. So we have the of the three directives there, the or countermeasure as the game calls it here. I'm used to calling them directives. Because yeah, they're basically directives. That left one is actually just a reduction of basically it gives them a little bit more hazard protection. But there's also another one that basically makes them immune, and they have different icons. So, because yeah, when Scorpios don't work on hunters, it can actually be a little bit dangerous. Also, yeah, for instance, here there's a foam EP. At least I'm gonna guess it's an EP. It might just be a player with a foam. But actually, it's a foam and a shield, so that's not common skills for a foam EP. But they seem very intent on foaming, so someone's going for the countermeasure as well right away. Admin is okay. So cooling tower is such an easy choice that, and we're also by it. You would, yeah. It's too obvious a choice to not go there. So I'm hoping the rest of the team just looks around and follows in. Yeah, that's always, people want to avoid VIP, and I kind of agree. It's too easy to get too long into it. And hello to you, Wilco. I'm in between running around. I'll catch up on reading that one. And yeah, thank you for thanks for the thanks is what has become my line for that. So yeah, very much enjoy making the content. So I'm always happy to hear that people are enjoying it as well. Oh, so there is a keybind attached to that. Trying to remember if it's something I have rebound. So when it's on the ground here, so it's actually even there. It's that one. It's the tab, but I believe tab isn't the main normal button for it. It might be, but yeah, it has the pop up. So whenever you have loot next to them on the ground, because also yeah, controllers it would have, but it shows it there. And it's basically, yeah, loot all as junk, and then it just goes in. Oh, and the menu, or sorry, I was confused a second there as well as my as a sound happened, and I was like, wait, what was that? But that's my camera shutting off. I'll fix that in a second as we're running in between fights. Because yeah, I'm running it on batteries as it's my setup is very much makeshift at the moment. It's equipment I had access to or have, so. And none of it is really made for what I'm using it for. But actually, yeah, I didn't read it all the way through, and yeah, I get the feeling that it was more about the second part. And so the menu I'm using then, once I have everything looted as junk, is the vendors. That is where I go to sort it. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel, which is linked down below, and the camera should come back in a second, because that's what I was doing there, was standing still. And it very much did, but I moved it a little bit, so I'll align it. By putting my thumb very much out of focus into there. Yeah, so I have a video on my channel, which I don't remember the name of it, but it basically is about vendor looting is, I think, what I called it in the end.
Area secure.
And that kind of goes through it. So, but to do that, you basically have to favorite all the items in your inventory so that those don't show up, and that includes all of the gear mods and stuff like that that you use, so that basically when you're empty or haven't looted anything, if you go to the vendors and go to the sell tab, making it so that nothing shows up there, favoriting everything that is basically part of your loadouts and stuff. And I've been doing that forever, and that includes my stash, for instance. So even if I pull out items out of my stash, they'll all be favorited. So it does take up some setup time.
Shade tech detected.
But you also need to do the skill mods to be sure to not to sell them. You need to do your gear mods if you move them around a little bit. And once everything that you own is favorited, then you can use the vendors to easily sort through it, as I do that.
Rogue sniper turret detected.
Because yeah, otherwise the only other options you really have is to do it with the weapon menu and the gear menu, but that's also split, so that's usually why I prefer my way. And also along the way you basically favorite everything, and that has its own benefits. Very much was the meme of that video, was favorite all the things.
Incinerator turret detected.
All of my allies are leaving, so I'll just stay here. Actually, one other is staying as well, but because yeah, these areas, these defend the area effect things here. I should actually, so I'm gonna do a supercharge. So I'm gonna use the hive. I'm gonna overcharge there. Send the second hive out and construct that one, and then that's the supercharge.
Target detected.
And that resets all of the skills that were on cooldown, and all of the other players are overcharged at the moment, so they use their skills, although they're not. But yeah, there's a sound effect tied to that, and to this day, whenever I hear that sound effect, as some other games have some sound effects that sound similar, I basically go, oh, I have to use my skills. But of course, in other games, it's very much not that. So yeah, I hope that in my rambling somewhat answered that question. No. Yeah, so we're going to we did 2 of the minor objectives, now we're going to the main objective. And yeah, well, vendor sorting is one of those things that I mean, I'm not the person that came up with it, of course, or anything, but like I'm so used to it at this point that it's always weird to see other people's streams or something and then that they don't do it, because I know a lot of players do it, and that's because yeah, it is one of those tricks that I think it was also more. I hadn't seen it pop up in in Reddit posts or Reddit answers or anything like that, because yeah, there was a while where that came up a lot. It was a thing to do, so people knew to do it. So this safeguard build, because giving up that glove slot, going from a Grupo to a BTSU, and giving up vigilance for safeguard, I went up there to check if it was that chest. It isn't, but also I see the loot already over there. It gives up a lot of its damage, quite a lot. I should have actually taken that item for its stats, but.
Evacuate the facility. 5 minutes.
And that Foam Eclipse is doing a decent job.
To your nearest exit. Hold on.
Although the dangers of Foam Eclipse is that you catch stuff where nobody can reach them. And that quite often happens. That's why I'm very much in preference of towards
Good work decrypting the protocols.
fire eclipses, especially
They're back online.
I mean outside of, because yeah, there for instance, all those guys are caught in a door. I'm gonna put my hive alongside them. I'm gonna go for the backpack heavy, or the backpack of the heavy, because yeah, once he's lost that, then he no longer will have his nail gun, so that takes his damage way down, because yeah, his nail gun is very, very dangerous. And nice of the game to spawn the next wave as well, just here. No, balcony now. I saw it on the minimap that it was in the same direction, but then yeah, became clear that it's not the exact.
Rogue incinerator turret detected.
checking if there's a lot of revive hives on cooldown. There aren't. Because that's one of the things that using that supercharged mechanic is really nice for, is you can reset a lot of your play or of their skills, and especially revive hives are very, very useful because you can do it every 2 minutes. Let's add in a 10 seconds as well for just.
Great work, Agent. Now you just need to restart the reactor and keep any hostiles from not.
Well, also, I've not even
No pressure.
mostly because I'm talking as well. I wasn't paying attention that yeah, we had an objective to do. Also, actually, yeah, again, it's been quite a while since I've seen reactor as one of the mains. I might actually, yeah, I'll do a supercharge here because then during the hunters, I can do a next one. So hopefully they'll pay attention that they have a supercharge available. You know? Because, yeah, especially for instance, is that player that has a pulses that can give a overcharged pulse, not just any pulse, but an overcharged pulse. Here is the issue with, that was the issue with foam eclipse. They foamed them in a place where no one could shoot at them, and that's not useful. And not by design. They just foamed something and it got spread into that doorway.
Now let's get you.
They didn't intend to do it.
Move to the extraction.
But yeah, it's too easy to have
Shoot
it
off a flight
mess
when
up
you're ready
like
for
that.
Torres to bring you home.
Yeah, and then it is very much important that, yeah, you need to have everything else needs to be favorited so that everything else, because every item that is either junk or even normal, I ran out right away and I skipped the chest. I'll go get the chest. Skip the chest because it's formulating what I was talking about. But I should know better because, yeah, there's the big chest up there and it contains loot and 3 SHD calibrations and players that are 15.7k should not be skipping them. Including this idiot. And once you've done it once, it's just maintenance at that point. That player's crashed out because, yeah, they're just slow walking there.
Get on that helo. You've got hunters incoming.
I'm glad to be of service, Wilco. It's yeah, it's I mean, I still as well quite often learn things from other players, and love sharing some of the things that I know, because most of it is as well just I've been around a while and had the luxury of playing with a lot of players that were very much into understanding the game and showing it off. So what I very much, of course, don't want to do here is pull out my hive because it would get hacked. I'm gonna heal.
System malfunctioning.
Just too late. I need to. Yeah, I should. Now that ally is getting them, I should push in with. I'm technician actually. I was hoping to be. Yeah, I'm not. I was hoping to pull out a flame grenade there, but that's not the specialization I am. Gonna work on these guys because, yeah, they need to die as well before they spread out up here. Because there's still a hunter alive, I think. Oh no, it's just a sniper.
Torres is waiting for your signal. Shoot off a
And we get to farm for a minute. Well, more even, because... And also with this game, very much it's... there's always more to learn, because even once you've learned everything, you'll forget about 25% at that point, because it'll take a while. I should share those contractors. Because, yeah, that's a really useful piece. I'll try to see if I can. Yeah, I'll drop it here. Mostly, I'm hoping that nobody else steals it. Keeping an eye on who gets it. Ah, somebody deconstructed it on the ground. Likely. Unless my chat isn't scrolled all the way down.
Helo inbound
Yeah.
on your location.
Which is a dick thing to do. Like, if stuff gets shared, yeah. The players that auto-deconstruct everything shouldn't be touching them. Oh, we're not at that timer yet. Okay. Somebody else has Scorpion as well, so I'll just... Yeah, we're gonna... yeah, no. I mean, it's on the edge and I'm just gonna leave. We would be able to kill them, but if there was loot, we couldn't really get that, so... I'd rather have the coins as they go towards exotic caches. As also one of the other items I really want to get more of is St. Elmo's. I want to have eventually one on each character on this account because yeah, it's that useful of an item. But it's of course not target lootable currently, and hope it'll likely get fixed. Or did I not share that thing? Was I accusing people of being a dick while I was being a dick? Did I maybe just mark it or something?
Thanks for the deal.
That's weird. But yeah, could very well be. I'll have to look back at the footage and feel very silly if I did falsely accuse someone. But yeah, that was so this vendor sorting, yeah, so everything of my inventory, all pieces are, or pieces tied to loadouts or that I'm keeping, everything's favorited. Everything in the mod slots, everything's favorited. In the skills mods, everything's favorited. Because yeah, everything that isn't favorited is going to show up here. But the easy way to do that as well is because if you have like stuff in your inventory, let's say this is from a loadout, or you're using this, it'll show up here and you can just, well, on PC, you can right click and mark as. On console, you will likely have a prompt tied to, say here, mark as, and then you can go through the list here as well and mark everything as favorite. And once this list is basically empty, when you aren't running around with looted gear, then it's basically set up. But then you just have to be aware as well that that means that if you grab stuff out of the stash or something, yeah, if it's not favorited, it will show up here and there's a chance you'll deconstruct it. So that means that, for instance, in my case as well, if I go to my stash, everything in here is also favorited. And in my extreme case, even I'm using each piece gets its own mod in my case, which isn't recommended. That's just me giving myself something to farm for by having to have way too many mods. Even all of these mods inside of gear is favorited as well, which that one takes time. So we didn't get what we were after. Again, of course, because life would be too easy. We do get one more exotic cache, so I will actually pop that one. And we get a waveform. Because yeah, currently St. Elmo's are only coming from exotic caches, end of mission rewards, or full random drops. And the full random drops, yeah, they can happen, but they're basically, I mean, first is getting just an exotic, and then it also being an Elmo. Because yeah, they're full random. There's no set weighting to it. I'm going to I'm going to grab an OD and also do a run with ongoing directive, full glass. So this is the one that I recently actually moved around in my build collection to. As in this slot on this character, I used to have a status effect one, which was completely useless. It was completely a test bed. That's also why it didn't show up in any of the recommended build lists or anything like that. But that got moved. So that status effect one I basically gave up on as I wanted to have the loadout slots available. It was more of a fun thing to have, and sometimes even use in DZ just to annoy people. But there are better ways to annoy people nowadays. With skills. And yeah, this one is very much going to be the subject of a showcase. Not the next one. The next one's going to be ongoing or Eclipse, and then following that is going to be ongoing directive. But in between the showcases is also other stuff. So I usually put a rambling talk or a guide at least in between each showcase. So it'll take a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna start matchmaking for Challenging Countdown and catch up on chat for a second.
Invite to another agent.
Yeah, it's very much. I mean, so yeah, the exotic caches from any source are the best source for them. But yeah, that's a pool of like 40 items. I don't think I'm exaggerating. I don't actually know how many exotics are in that pool by heart. I could quickly go through a list and count them maybe, but and yeah, that means that it's a 1 in so many chance basically. But yeah, they should just be fixed to go into targeted loot. That's what targeted loot is for. And they likely will. They usually fix loot, although Catharsis has been a while, of course. Thinking about it now. Catharsis has been a while. Blue screen has been a while. Trying to remember which other one was in that pool. Or not in that pool. Oh yeah, Dread Edict as well. Busy Little Bee is of course still linked to Liberty, which actually, I mean, in this case helps out because Liberty, getting the Liberty blueprint isn't hard. It's basically doing 4 missions, which you can do even on normal, I believe, but most definitely on hard. Though I think you can do it on normal.
Reactor unstable. Emergency lockdown protocols.
So actually, one of the things as well is I always take this route, and everybody else always takes the other route. Or well, not everybody, but I feel this route that I'm taking is much faster always. Because I've taken both routes at times. We're gonna link up both groups right away. And the hazard reduction is already removed, so they'll take full effect from. Oh yeah, the super. That's the sound. if it was loud enough to be heard there, which should be if I'm not talking over it, but that little kind of sound, and that's the other sound where it ends. That's the supercharge, and of course there I didn't have anything to. So there we all got our special or half a mag. Well, I got a full mag and they got half a mag of special ammo, which will help their damage quite a lot. And that makes ongoing directive actually also one of the good buffing builds. A technician hives one time. That's very much want to get ammo on this weapon as well, just so I have a backup. I didn't actually look. Okay, so everything's viable. So they're going containment. Okay. Oh, yeah, that kind of makes sense. We'll go into containment and then come back out to turbine. Because turbine is also a really good one. Warhounds at turbine is easy. Should have actually reloaded. Turns out. Yeah, ongoing directives and eclipses together are actually, of course, combo made in heaven, and we have an eclipse. So that's what likely that player with the foam is doing.
Incinerator turret detected.
Or at least there's status effect there. Yeah, them applying status effect to stuff will greatly increase my effectiveness.
Incoming. High risk hostile.
The one thing I really need to do is even if I'm outside of optimal, just pelt the enemies, get the mark on them, because yeah, everything that dies with the mark, so that is hit by me while they have a status effect,
Area secure.
that causes everybody else to get, well, me as well actually, to get the special ammo, and they get half a mag. And actually running together with the ongoing directive is one of the reasons to especially the Elmo actually works out really well for this, because they get half a mag of their mag amount. So that means that it helps you a lot more if you're running an LMG than if you're running a Lady Death with 32 rounds, for instance. So it is actually one of those things that kind of like running alongside the LMG players kind of I sometimes specifically choose to grab an LMG secondary as if the few times I'm running a red build. So actually, I'm gonna take the route that Isaac does not want you to know about, which is true here, and it just doesn't get marked, and I'm not sure why. It for most stuff isn't faster, except for specifically this. It's actually a little bit faster. And also, yeah, from here, actually, yeah, you can shoot that one as well. And for some reason, those servers do bleed, because... yeah, I'm using a Carnage, and that's very much... I was hoping, actually, yeah, that other people would be... I'm super ineffective against mechanicals, like, because I can't make them bleed. My weapon is sadist. My effectiveness is tied to marking stuff with status effects. So all of that combined together is very much not conducive to me shooting warhounds. Because I will actually usually, if it is fighting Black Tusk, I will usually not stick with the ongoing directive. I might just go red. Just briefly gonna check over there if there's any loot as well. I did get the chest in this zone. Got the chest in the last zone, so we're gonna move on over to the main. And we've done it in a pretty good time already. One thing I can do as well is I have a FAMAS with Vindictive, and I should use that a little bit. But I need to get the kill, which is not guaranteed. Although, of course, this is a full red build with glass. It can kill. I mean, this does a decent amount of damage. It's close. It's about 75% of normal red glass. But of course, that's a red glass, and then the Heartbreaker goes over that, and Strikers goes way over that.
I know it's your favorite job. Need you to search the control room and find the server.
Also, I'm surprised Kelso knows whatever our favorite job is. He's never there to help. Although I'm teasing her. I actually like Kelso. No, it's not a popular opinion inside of the player base, but
Warning. System
I think she's actually well done.
initiating safety protocol.
Because I totally also expected her to go against us after how in love she seemed with the president in some of the cutscenes. The President Ellis. I'm staying in the box because that's the objective. So making sure that we actually get completion here.
Nice job. You're a pro. Now, just need you to find another server.
I stood in that circle like a pro.
Warning. System breach. Initiating safety protocol.
Oh, somebody hit this one. Okay, I'll go for the other one. They're hitting both. Nice. As earlier in the evening, we had quite some issues with people. See if I can get the Vindictive off. I do. And yeah, Vindictive is actually really strong, of course, with the team. I don't actually remember. I'll catch those numbers in. I have a hive.
Incapacitated.
Fine. Its downside is, though, I won't have the hive ready again once we reach extraction, likely. Unless, actually, yeah, we might actually get a supercharge. Because that's...
Server and you can reboot the system.
Oh, he supercharged right before I lost my... That's not well timed.
Initiating safety protocol.
But yeah, if I can sneak in a Vindictive here and there... Oh, a control room server is not being gotten, so I'll go do that. And that also gives me time to get the stats off of... I'm going to mark multiples, just so once my teammates, if they come and help me, they'll get special ammo if they kill any of them. I'm gonna try and get this, but I also don't have a hive, and I don't wanna particularly die. But we got them. Yeah. So, what are the values of Vindictive before I accidentally say something stupid? Okay. 15 meters, 15, 15. 15 crit chance, 15 crit damage. I did actually remember that, but just before I say something stupid. Yeah, it's completion there.
Communications restored.
Also, I have a Banshee Pulse that I haven't used at all. But that's just me also. Talking and playing. Gonna go for the chest right away before I forget this time. You already got the small chest, so just the big
Torres is
chest
waiting
left.
for your signal. Shoot off a flare when you're ready to come home.
But yeah, just an extra 15 from Vindictive crit damage. Because yeah, with the amount of Coyote... Actually, there's no Coyote active. That's... So actually, that'll help out and make up for the Coyote that we're missing. It's surprising, actually, to see an 8-man team without a Coyote. Well, 7. One is disconnected. Also, I'm now just noticing that while we did get a overcharge in some places... Is it from... Okay. Excuse me? Or excuse you. Okay. Why wouldn't... Well, at least that tells me that I don't have to try to get the spread going, because there's no spread to be had. Because that player is using 3 pieces of it.
Agent, stay frosty. Hunters incoming.
An agent has reconnected.
But they're also providing the BTS here, because I was trying to figure out where that destruction of the hive came from. Because yeah, all the other hives are reviver hives, and that's usually not what you use for. I'm gonna cover to cover, although somebody else also is doing that. Could be safe here.
System curtailed.
There's a tardigrade in the group as well. I'll grab that as junk and move on. So yeah, there we had another supercharge. That did reset my hive, which helps quite a lot. Something's behind us here. Oh, yeah, there he is.
System reactivated. System malfunctioning.
I really want that healing box gone.
System restored.
Although I don't want to die for it.
Assistance. Vital signs critical.
I'll go get this loot before I push in. That was horrible shooting on my end, but I ran out of bleed rounds at some point. And that means that I'm not marking stuff. And yeah, I really want to mark some stuff. Every time a marked thing dies, that's actually the buff mechanic of this build going into play. So it's kind of needed. Yeah, we cleared out pretty fast. Got all the hunters down. Didn't lose anyone, also important. Could have reloaded my Carnage. Yeah, I'm using the Carnage because in the same way that the Kingbreaker is quite a bit better than any other weapon with flatline, except you have to deal with it being a Kingbreaker. With Perfect Sadist, you get that same extra 5%. Although you're going, instead of going from 15% to 20, you're going from 20 to 25. So effectively, it is a less. It's a percent-wise is less of an increase, really. But yeah, Sadist, that Perfect Sadist is actually really strong. And of course, it's also an LMG, giving you plenty of special ammo, or letting your max size defines how much special ammo you will get per kill. So, and yeah, if you can't kill in 150 rounds with both having a glass chest, vigilance backpack, and having Perfect Sadist, then it's likely something big. It's not even that you're bad; it's that it's likely a heavy boss or something. Yeah, just making sure that I mark as many things as possible so that when they die. Also, my allies get a ton of that special ammo. We likely don't have one more chopper because, yeah, timer's going already. The next chopper isn't even in sight, so off we go. Also, sorry for the creaking in the background. I really need to get a different chair. This one, the point where it's attaching basically to the thing that pulls it up and down is very much made out of cheap aluminum, and it's very creaky whenever I put my push my weight around on it. No keeper so far, but also it needs to be something very decent for me to not have it already. Because yeah, mostly that's that closer, but I already usually look in my inventory or look at the drops happening in the chat part and see what I'm picking up. So that piece, if it had that crit chance, or if it had rate of fire, I might have kept that weapon to optimize it. But yeah, I'm very much trying to have a decent collection of most of the weapons in the game, close to all, and most of them as well with desirable turret stats. So for most things with damage targets that recover, and all of them free talentable for all of the normal weapons, so that I can play around with it. And of course, you know, also bragging rights, of course, because yeah, that's that took some doing. But I'm very much reworking my LMGs because testing wise, I long time ago, I made a post that was mostly about LMGs, which also contained some inaccuracies that I've been better about in the years after. As I might have instigated a little bit of the initial acceptance of the Bullet King, as I had one major mistake in that post, and yeah, and for that one, I didn't want to use rate of fire as the third stat, and crit chance also would not make sense as it was tested on red builds. So most of the LMGs that I owned back then, or that I had as my collection, which actually most of them have been replaced now, were almost all damage damage stars are covered. Second stat, and then third stat, all damage to armor, because I didn't know better. Also, I didn't want to deal with that rate of fire, making everything different between all weapons. Actually, looking at it now, I have a few still on characters. I have a few LMGs, especially on my first character, that are still with damage to armor. And LMGs very much need to be either crit chance and used in builds like this, for instance, where you can really make use of that crit chance, because it's a little bit crit starve, of course, but with the LMG, it can reach 60. And otherwise, rate of fire is really the real choice, because damage to armor just doesn't apply to everything, of course, and rate of fire does. I'm gonna hop into one more countdown challenging and just keep this farm going and see.
You have received an invite to another agent's group.
See if we get this closer. It's very much my goal for the foreseeable future. I'm stuck in the loop. Actually, I'm not stuck in the loops as a lot of people are with Descent, but I'm stuck in my own different hell/loop. Yeah, what is up, my friend? Speak again, please, so I can mute you. At least it's not an open mic. It's he's actually using. Okay, it's I got the name there, so that's all I needed. Yeah, very much. Thank you to all of you who are joining me this evening as well, and also to do the corporate part of this thing. And if you are willing and you're enjoying my stream, I would very much appreciate those that aren't following me, if you're willing to follow me, as that very much drives the algorithm and moves streams up the recommended list. So
We need to remove the safeguards and restart the reactor.
if you are willing, I would very much appreciate the help in that way. We should go left to link up both teams.
Activated. 15 minutes lockdown.
I'm gonna shoot towards these allies.
Lockdown safety protocols initiated.
One of them still went that way, which is going to suck for him more than it'll suck for us, most likely, unless he's on a build that can solo a hunter. So we're gonna go over there, grab the hunter loot from this one as well, before we head further.
System malfunctioning.
Don't know why he went the long way around, because that's a real long way around. I can kind of see the thinking, but hoping to get a shot on him. But also here, so for instance, now we have 3 coyotes where we had 0 on the last group.
Restored.
So making up for it. On average, we had 1.5 coyote then. Oh well, at least 1.5 coyote buff. Because there might be even more coyotes, of course. Although mostly they'll overlap with each other as well and not be at full effectiveness. I'll go for this because, although actually this is, I think, just explosive damage, right? Yeah, explosive, and we're not dealing any explosive damage really. I mean, yeah, reactor is, yeah, turbine containment seems like the best bet, and looks like most people are agreements in that. This player in front of me is very much doing. Well, actually, I wonder if it's. Yeah, no, he's kind of doing the serpentine, the DZ serpentine, as we usually call it, which is just they wiggle left to right, which is something you kind of get in the habit of doing if you're running around the DZs a lot, because it helps you from not getting sniped in the head. But yeah, on the PvE end, it's weird to see it just running around like. I still haven't gotten any special ammo. This disrupt will count as a status, so that will be special ammo at least once he dies, if he dies. And I finally have some special rounds. But yeah, the ongoing directive to buff. So the red FI just being there just buffs, and that is very much its strength. And then it can heal stuff to keep it going.
Area secure.
But both the red ongoing starts as red, so we usually just call it ongoing, or glass ongoing in my case. The player is a lot more important in it. So with a red patriot as well, it needs to. The player that is playing it needs to play it well, or at least play it decently. We're pretty bunched up here, and we're gonna be fine going in. But the good of that player to wait for his allies.
Shade tech detected.
It is better to go in as a blob. Kill as many of these people before they scatter all around. Just gonna put it over there.
Rogue striker drone detected.
And yeah, I'm gonna try to play it a little bit
Rogue assault turret detected.
towards, getting the most out of the build, which is, just hitting multiple targets. So I'll be moving from target to target a lot, marking as many stuff as I can, because every time that they die,
Rogue incinerator turret detected.
even if I'm not really in a good spot to hit them, if I just hit them once with bleed rounds active, they will
Lockdown safety protocols in effect.
get the mark on them, and then when they die,
Incoming.
they will give us ammo. Also use this, although actually he's already disoriented, so likely by a Scorpion.
Agent, you should be able to access the reactor.
And there's the chest loot as well. And I should try to get it on the Vindictive AR as well. Yeah, we got access to it. I'm weirded out by them all going that way, because this way is just as fast, basically. Because I was way behind basically those two players, and
Agent, you've
I'm
reached
mostly
the
caught up.
reactor. I need you to get it back online.
The only annoying thing is as well that they should fix at some point is
Protocols.
the readout on when I bring it out in the center of the screen there, decently visible. It's showing 06, but I have 106 rounds, and that's just because it is a 2-digit one. And yeah, it cuts off a little bit there. So it's always hard to see actually how many bullets you have from there. But yeah, you can always just look at your UI and see it. We already got the chest, so I don't need to go looking for it. Other players are getting the main objective. I'll go actually set myself up for the second, which is going to be a button over there. Just to hit it right away. I will go in here
Warning.
and take the bleed just to hit this thing right away.
Almost done.
This opens that thing over there.
You'll need to run the sequence twice.
I should actually just use the FAMAS for
Those
it.
controls to get the reactor back
The
on.
only downside of the Carnage, of course, is it's a pretty long reload. It's an LMG reload, completely unassisted. So no fast hands, no steady-handed, because that's usually how you make LMGs work decently well.
Great work, Agent. Now you just need to restart the reactor and keep any hostiles from knocking it offline or killing you. No pressure.
Upstairs. Yeah, I don't want to push. Oh god, don't jump. Especially get that boss. I'll actually try to get a vindictive off, but my FAMAS was not even reloaded.
Reactor online.
And most of the loot, if it doesn't have a chevron in it, it's quite unlikely to be useful. So I usually just look at the name. So some of the loot, of course, has a better chance of being useful. Is yeah, the recommended thing actually to do in Countdown is to have enough inventory space to loot everything here, just right away, hoover it all up, and sort it later. But inventory-wise, that doesn't work out for me that well, because usually I only have so here I've picked up a few items already, but I only have. Or I don't think actually I've picked up anything so far. I have 20. I have 23 spots available. So, just, what was that? Okay. The extraction is decently close, so that's actually good. I'm a little far behind, but I'll catch. Yeah, mostly keeping an eye out on the armor bars and stuff. Hoping that they got that hunter out here. Seems they didn't, but he hasn't fallen back all the way. Because yeah, what you really want to have with the hunters is that they don't bunch up all together. So we're gonna mark on him. I'll just put some continuous and I'll focus. So most of the other players are going after the Black Tusk, but I really feel that Hunter is a lot more dangerous.
Shoot off a flare so Torres knows you're ready to go.
But also we got it. The extraction is complete. And most of that was down as well. So we all again have that close range buff, which is that first icon. This it's kind of hard maybe to see, but I'm hovering like around it. is whenever you have that, that makes stuff so much easier. Because it is always over increasing the damage, and 9 times out of 10 it's also super over increasing the damage. I'm just gonna go over here and have a look on the left there. I see a loot pile, but yeah, good thing I checked actually. And that was that that last hunter. Gonna see if I can find yeah, this player. My allies have all this. I'm gonna just drop most of this stuff as stats, or if it's decent looking. But yeah, he'll likely hoover it up, and he'll likely benefit from it. I'm gonna go through the other 3 slots. And here I'm then being a very bad ongoing directive by not marking really anything. So, but also, yeah, the close range buff is active. Everything's dying within seconds anyway. So, if min-maxing was the objective, then yeah, I am failing. But our min is also already like more than good enough. Because yeah, basically not much is reaching the ground. Could likely do that chopper, but everybody seems... I don't know, yeah. But we can't do it alone. So if the team chooses to leave, I'll join up as well. But yeah, because if we had killed them, we would have to run away right away. We'd have... If we killed them, looted them, we would run out at like 4 seconds remaining.
Entering safe area.
Day when nobody comes knocking.
I'm just gonna sort whatever got here. I should have actually given that the contractors as well to them, but they got some loot out of me. They should be happy. So I'm just gonna actually briefly, what else do I have on this specific character? Just for looking for some variety.
Check something out?
Because yeah, I could try hot shot, but that's not really. Actually, I should do a run with. Yeah, with let's go. My favored build style for Countdown, and that's PFE. And this one is the Heartbreaker PFE. I feel the Striker PFE actually works a little bit better, but this one works fine enough. The only downside of it is it doesn't have pulse, because it really needs Survivalist for that PFE bonus. So, because even with Survivalist, it is only in the 70 something or 70 flat. And yeah, protection from elite, you really need to... Yeah, basically 70 is, I would say, the minimum. And it caps at 80 as well. So you want to hit that range pretty well. But yeah, it not having the pulse means that, yeah, it needs to headshot to apply its pulse. That's also why I'm running a pulse as a secondary, where, of course, the Striker one can just do its Striker thing and and strike while stricken, and have a shield as well, because yeah, I need that pulse for if there's dogs or something like that, or as one of the main objectives, even when we're not fighting Black Tusk, of course, is that Warhound. The thing has messed up again,
Procedures have been initiated.
but that's actually usually in our favor. It bunches up both teams.
We need to restrict access and secure the nuclear waste.
Yeah, it's getting quite late, so sorry for the yawning there, although I did catch it with the mute.
System curtailed. Reactor unstable. Emergency lockdown.
But being survivalists, we do have flame grenades as well.
High levels of radiation.
I was tapping at Scorpio speeds, which this is an ACS, so I should not be doing that.
System
Just out of habit of quite often being
shade tag detected.
somebody entered one of the what what, although yeah, likely a very low level. I mean, if you don't know better, yeah, it does make, like, there is a line on your screen and you go like, let's follow that. But yeah, of course, everybody else does not follow that and goes kills hunters. But the downside for them is they'll likely die. And looking at it, is yeah, we'll likely do... What's the main? Containment. Is yeah, we would actually want to do cooling tower, and if we were to go into it now, it would be a hellhole because
Closing in on the target.
Where did this hunter get put, or am I just blind? We only got 2, right? Or, well, 3 in total there, but 2 on that end. I'll just go in. We'll figure that alive later. I always take this route just to check that chest first. Yeah, I very much want to get those chests. It's not that one, so it's going to be by the stairs over there, which likely will get popped by one of the people there.
High value target detected.
Also, I can just pulse as well. Just... That's it. We're fighting outcasts, so most of the things, well, all of the things that they have heads, which helps immensely with Heartbreaker.
Hostile neutralized. Incoming. High risk hostile.
There's also the thing is with the Heartbreaker one, it's not as bad as a headshot build, for instance, where there are stuff like helmets as well still getting in your way.
Area secure.
Here, Heartbreaker, even if you hit something in the helmet, for instance, a heavy or something, as long as you're basically hitting the head area, it counts as pulsing them. It's only basically dogs, mini tanks, and deployables. I mean, deployables especially can often be very annoying as well. If you're trying to kill a turret and it takes so much longer, then yeah, it takes so much longer. Also, I should really remember to hydrate a little bit after this one. Likely even by the extraction. But yeah, the humidity is still very much a thing. I'm gonna guess for most people in most areas, the heat and the humidity. Well, northern hemisphere, of course, because
Hostile sniper
we, of
turret
course, have people hanging upside down on the planet, so and they're having their winter. So
Rogue incinerator turret
I'll
detected.
pulse here just to put everything,
Hostile
make everything a lot more visible. But yeah, this is the hellhole I was talking about. Although it's not as bad, and I think that's mostly down to, I think actually at some points they have likely done something about, so in the summit especially, you could have about 10 skills out. Here as well, like there are 4 skills out, at least, for this box. But especially in the summit, yeah, you can have fights where if you leave it there and let it deploy, just having 10 or so skills out, and yeah, that's a good way to die.
High-risk target approaching.
I'm not really in a decent range, but to get into range, I would have also taken quite a while. Oh, his loot actually dropped on the feet all the way back there. I'll only see if it's... we have another supercharge again. If it has a name chevron, then I would have gone for
You
it,
should be
but...
able to access the waste area.
Or if it's in my way. Actually, it is in my way, so... And this team is doing well. We don't have the close range buff, but everything's going pretty fast. There's actually 3 people with foam. And they're foaming some stuff here and there. Aren't we going containment? Why go...
Agent, you've reached the waste area.
Actually, that's not a bad idea on their part. They're going not the shortest route into containment, but they're going the shortest route into... towards the objective, which, yeah, from there they can kill that objective.
That should be the source of the
Which actually also came up during the red FI,
we need to secure that tank and get it back into the circle.
the red FI build showcase. But yeah, every time it's very much, it takes a second to realize what is happening. And yeah, I need to be out of not being shot before I can actually complete. Every time I was getting shot there, it was, but I was holding on, guessing that my allies would kill them. Also, I would love to test at some point if that is relative to the amount of damage that you take. I don't believe so. I'm gonna guess it's likely just by hit, but because then yeah, a PFE could maybe still go through it because they're reducing. None of my other teammates are standing in here, so I'm gonna remain in here and be the good boy and get us to the finish line. For instance, here as well, if I pulse this now, this goes so much faster.
Great work. Now just
Although, of course, I'm also basically not stacked at any point. Yeah, and here I'll pulse, giving that damage buff. So that player this time did it in combat. It's did the
the plant's secure.
supercharge,
Now let's get
giving
you
the overcharge to everyone
to
in
extraction
combat.
point.
I need to still get
Shoot off a flare when you're ready to come home.
the big chest as well, but I'll go actually get the small chest first here.
Assault turret detected.
Which maybe wasn't the best idea, because actually I thought it was the eastern extraction, but it's very much isn't. It's the western one. Or the northern one, either of the two. It is the western. And actually you can know as well where the extraction is going to be. The 2 places that get used when you insert into Countdown. The one that doesn't get used is basically going to be the extraction. But it's usually too much of a hassle to actually remember. And it's also, it matters a little bit, but not that. And it's mostly because you can't choose the main objective, so you can't
Heavily armed hostiles detected.
make a difference in that. You always have to do the main objective and then run to the extraction. But at least usually you can then know that it may take a while. Oh, they killed 1 and 2 hunters really quickly, which is nice. So I'm briefly... Okay, I am US East. Yeah, I did feel a little... just that little edge of lag. Someone has Vanguard on us as well. Gonna kill that drone, whatever it is. Actually, sniper. Okay, one thing I can do... Actually, I can't do because I'm disrupted.
Torres is waiting for your signal. Shoot off a flare.
I'm trying to grab the minigun, but I'll give up and just rush in here. But yeah, PFEs on miniguns kind of can be... Because yeah, you can tank quite hard, so... As a range extension, it isn't the worst. Yeah, we have a true patriot with us. Because stuff is very much exploding in a shower of fireworks. Yeah. Bad third, bad talent, doesn't get to live. Although I could have shared, but also my inventory is full, so I would have to clean up something and then grab that one and then share it. That's way too much work. Actually, they have this. I'm curious to see. So yeah, hazard protect, foam eclipse. So yeah, this is the striker PFE with four blue cores. Just gonna briefly check how many perfect PFEs they have. Because yeah, they had one, which at 1K is very much okay. A Ninja Umbra. Whoop. That chopper came a little bit hot. Yeah, the animations for choppers very much bug out when you are in menus and such. That's what usually causes those kinds. Yeah, we can actually get this chopper if most of the people stay. We just have to make sure that we grab loot right away, and then there was no loot, so. But that way we had more than I got out by 13 seconds, looks like. According to there, I had done 0 damage, which that counter quite often breaks. That is a very slow load for getting back to the White House. Gonna clean up this character, and then likely I'll just swap over to the PFE that I mostly prefer, which is the AR one, and do one last one, at least. We'll call it one last one, and then decide after if it was. I have an Optimus Tactical Mark 16, but I have several. Like this one would be close enough to be usable, at least. And usually, yeah, it's the right stats over getting good stats. And yeah, with Countdown, it's you get so much loot out of it, and so much decent loot. It's actually nowadays pretty easy to catch up to any long-time players, especially on gear, at least. I'm gonna pop these 2 caches. Actually, let's go through those as well real quick. I don't need one more of those, and that's not workable. At some point as well, I will likely have to start collecting all of the MMRs as well, all of the the sniper rifles. I'm gonna put this character on their Eclipse build, which is usually how I store them basically, and then I'm gonna swap back to my first character, and then do one last countdown as a AR PFE, high-end AR PFE. That was quite fun to still do the stream, and even though it was very much out of my normal streaming schedule, because yeah, I usually start quite a lot earlier. So for those of you interested in catching me again in the future, I'll be most evenings on at around 9 in the evening, Central European time, or well, Central European summertime. Yeah, it is getting quite late indeed, and hey to you, Jess. Thanks for joining again. I'm gonna grab yes, that PFE. Right. Just so they see the right build as well, if it influences others in any way.
You have received.
But yeah, it's currently 3:40 in the morning. But yeah, I had some work-related get-together, which was in the evening where I would normally stream. So having attended that, I was like, you know what? Let's hop on anyway. I was going to play anyway, so. And also my night schedule is very much ups and downs. It's very, actually, I've been better about it, especially in the last few months, but it shifts quite a lot from going to bed around 11 in the evening at the earliest, and sometimes 5 in the morning at around the latest.
Hyenas have taken over the
And at some points also just skipping a night has happened sometimes.
RC bomb in a nuclear reactor.
As yeah.
We need to find a way to relieve the pressure and fix the reactor's cooling system.
Most people that have a good addiction to some video games
Emergency lockdown protocols activated.
will know.
15 minutes lockdown.
He has the right idea.
System failure. System purge required.
They didn't get the idea. One player was hesitating in a way that he looked like he may, but it's okay. I need to grab a Scorpio before the next fight, but for this one I'll go in like this. And the thing that this build can do is deal enough damage in proximity to be the target. And yeah, on the shield it can take one of those. It can take 2. So
System disrupted.
I can be hatcheted once. I'm gonna let them actually hit that. I want a Scorpio, very much so, because nobody else was Scorpioing either. And both teams will get all three, or well, we'll get 3 hunters. Like, but actually, likely my team only got 2 out of that, because yeah, they likely killed that other hunter way too quick. No, we only got 1 hunter. Which sucks. Lab admin? Or lab containment, yeah. That is very much a downgrade in the amount of requisitions we'll get.
An agent has disconnected.
The target should be nearby.
Let's see. I mean, he's level 600. You shouldn't need a carry. But actually, yeah, you guys can't see the chat because it's behind my face. But yeah, he was thanking the team for carrying him. But we carry those that carry themselves. Oh, okay. They were up there. I'll go, yeah, actually. I was hoping they would spawn on, well, they did in the end. Yeah, I'll just run interference. That's not an enemy.
Target detected.
Yeah, they went for the shield when I was way too close, or for the explosives, and when I was way too close. I'm curious to see, actually.
High value target neutralized.
They're having a whole chat about
Target detected.
the VIP and how much of a run killer it is, and if VIP is killing your challenging runs, you have other issues. It's just really that name though, there really, so.
Area secure.
And yeah, just shooting at that thing wouldn't have really been useful, so my allies had it. Yeah, let's just mark it. Because yeah, this route will be faster. Also, I'm still surprised with they did some work on of course the. Is he waiting? They're enjoying their conversation. That the TKB still isn't fixed graphically. Like on the right side, you kind of see
Minutes to lock down. Evacuate the facility.
To stabilize
that my arm is basically going straight through the thing
required.
to get to the get to the handle of it. As yeah, we did get a few reworks, of course. The Dr. Home got a rework, or well, they got their skins that they intended them to have, but didn't implement starting out, and the capacitor, of course, as well. And both of them actually do look good. Like Dr. Home actually went from a really silly looking one to a almost decent looking weapon. I'm curious. Like, they talk a big game, and they're I'm pressing X to doubt on their effectiveness.
Critical systems exposed.
Let's go get the server. Actually, this is the specific build that is also the closer is going to go into, this high-end PFE. And mostly because I'm mostly using it on countdown. You should not stand on top of that thing. And in here, so I'm running it currently as Adrenaline Rush Intimidate, which still works quite well for PFE, or especially PFE.
Area secure.
You can head over to the cooling tower.
Because it doesn't lose its armor really quick, and usually when you're pulling out a PFE build, you're fighting something that
An agent is back
also
online.
has that amount like, of health that you will hit max stats. I'm just gonna briefly actually this doesn't work in here, does it? Yeah. You can block them to not see checks. That of them. Also, that what they're saying isn't too bad, but it's just stupid. Oh, they don't have the time to chat that much. They're that's likely one of them, basically. I mean, some people are fast timers. Actually, that's the other one.
Tower.
But also, you have which is what was happening to him there, as yeah, he was going straight when everybody else was going near. Is using the outer run feature,
Warning.
but yeah, you can actually run up and not have not have look, man, no hands.
Find a way to release some pressure.
I'll go for this objective because people just seem to not touch it. Okay, no, they did this thing.
To stabilize the pressure.
Just gonna chain this guy and go for the objective.
Pressure stabilized. You can cut off that steam.
Because actually he is helping me by being in proximity and giving me intimidate, although actually the target isn't in intimidate range, that's why. Damage is super low still actually.
Steam and you're good to go.
Chain him again, and I really only care about the objective.
Rogue restore hive detected.
Cooling system pressure limits exceeded. Purge system to stabilize the pressure.
It's always a bit annoying to get up on that thing, and also yeah, TKB does not have the effective
Steam and you're good to go.
accuracy for that. Well, that's 2 of the 3 cycles done. We get a 1 named out of it there.
Pressure limits exceeded. Purge system.
Could it be? Could it be? I shall loot, and later we shall see. Although I saw it was a backpack, so. So, I got spoiled.
Evacuate the facility. 5 minutes to lockdown.
Cooling system pressure limits exceeded.
You need to vent the remaining steam and you'll be good to go.
Okay, they've been cycle 3 as well.
Target detected.
While I was running around up here, so.
Cooling system stabilized.
Yeah, I'm just spreading my damage as well a little bit, just getting stuff to aggro to me. Because yeah, usually as long as they aren't getting burned down really hard, they'll stay aggro to me till they are. Just from me having a little bit of damage and mixing that with proximity as well. Just gonna look over there if there's any loot over there, because likely this is the last guy, and oh, it's named as well. So. close the distance and
Nice. The plant's secure.
be effective. Because yeah, we have the chest
Move to the extraction point.
loot over there as well. Actually, it's in the way, luckily, so...
Shoot off a flare when you're ready to come home.
Just checking it because it does have a chevron. Take those resources as well. Because don't want to be the first one running anyway. I'm actually considering it as well. Being closer with this would also make it less viable to use the I don't. I'm gonna wait for my allies because he is waiting. That's nice. But yeah, they trigger once we are all the way up here, so might as well have as many people.
System malfunctioning.
Trying to
Agent, stay frosty.
figure out where the hunters are.
When you're ready, send up a flare.
Because yeah, without my shield, I can't actually take a hatchet to the face. But what I'll do as well is shoot that. I'm gonna beeline it for that healing box, not letting it. And yeah, I can take one when I have that many enemies around me, because yeah, I'm getting. That's not one of theirs. I'm gonna pull back. Because yeah, that shotgun one hurts. Snipers and shotguns especially still hurt. But I likely helped quite a bit there by not having everything have an overheal for that's just going. Kept one of the hunters on me. Gonna go kill the sniper because yeah, that can. I'll pull out my shield just to keep the intimidate going, because yeah, if they go through my bonus armor, then I do lose it. Yeah, we have some nice loot piles. That's not gonna be useful. Was low level. I'll share those two. We have enough time. I'll burn it. Just need to find the player. Oh, more weapons from memory, so. Sure. These have stats. Yeah, I'm hoping that super stove picks them up, but. Somebody else deconstruct. They're assholes.
Kilo inbound to your location. Hold tight.
Because yeah, nobody picked them up, and they got removed from the world. So that's the only option. I'm still hunting for that closer, that that dastardly white whale that just doesn't want to drop.
Let's get you home, Agent.
But yeah, that's expected. Like this isn't far off the expectation of drop rate for it. Or actually, maybe it got all packed together with that one. That can also. And yeah, we're not gonna get another chopper really. So. And if I get set up with skill haste, repair skill along the way, that'll work too. Just for having it. As I said, this account actually still doesn't have that item. the skill haste repair skill, record to yellow, the setup
Area detected.
for FI builds and such. Well, FI build specifically.
Hello there.
But I already have one on my other account, so it is in the collection, and that's why I'm not that fussed about it. Because yeah, keep getting close. Because I already have a hazard protection repair skill one, which is basically the second best choice.
Thanks for your business.
Because yeah, that especially named items, trying to find them with stats that are not the same color as its core, which in this case very much is so. The closer comes with a blue core. The stats I want are crit chance, crit damage, so it's very unlikely to drop. And names just, of course, also don't drop that often in comparison to the other items. Gonna grab all the caches I can. It allows me to. Gonna pop these, and also the caches are worthwhile because St. Elmo's are also still something I'm after. Sweet Dreams isn't, but I will actually go have some of those pretty soon. So
Nice doing business with you.
but yeah, I'm going to deconstruct here, and that will basically be it for me. I'll see, did I move that PFE here over? Yeah. So this character now has all of the so I was spreading out these 13 PFEs just for a little bit of, actually in the build picture it has all of the PFEs as well, but I was moving those around between having them on several characters. Just it made more sense to have several characters with 75 than to have this one specifically have this build with 78. But yeah, I moved all of the 13s back to this character because likely it will get a rework. So even without Survivalist, it has a 78 protection from Elite, which is very respectable. But to get that, of course, you need every piece to have a 13% PFE. And that one was one of my old white whales, and I've conquered that one to have a full build of PFE. That took quite a while. Although that got done around back when I was 12k SHD, so quite a while back. And yeah, this is gonna get a rework to have a Grupo backpack with Vigilance with a PFE mod, and then the closer as its main. A flatline Kingbreaker, so. And that will mostly just be a rework to have it to be a little bit more mid-rangey. And I'll likely still keep this build picture as, because yeah, this one also kind of makes sense for its close range availability. But I also have a shotgun one that's in the build collection, so yeah, it evens out. And yeah, tomorrow I'll be working on the video with multiple about the benefits of multiple characters. So they'll likely be released tomorrow. So they'll be on the YouTube channel. And I'll start working on... I'm considering maybe as well doing the Eclipse showcase, doing that as a stream, doing it, well, not as a, but recording it again, as I did with the Redify. Got some good responses. People seem to have liked it, to basically have a preview of it before it, and also to see behind the scenes. So I might do that, or otherwise tomorrow, gonna do some Descent, as of course need to get those weeklies out of it as well. So, but yeah, we'll see then. And yeah, thank you all for joining me, and I hope you join me in the future as well, or on the channel, on the YouTube channel, and as I'll be for this entire summer making a conscious effort to well, let's try this out, see how it works. I have some time available, and While I'm not aiming for the moon, of course, I don't expect to to become a big YouTuber or a big streamer or anything. It's just I quite enjoy it, and yeah, it's a good hobby, and that's what I'm aiming it for. So yeah, thank you all, and hope to see you in the future, and have a good night.